Reveille, reveille.
Look at us now, tip to...
Ooh, Jesus.
Shout out to Morning Kombat.
Do you want a margarita? Yes! My God!
to us, doing what we love. It's time to bang. Oh, yeah, like only men can do. It's Monday morning, December 1st of the 25s, and it's time for some day drinking. Morning Kombat UFC 323 pregame preview brought to you by Cuervo, Brian Campbell, Luke Thomas, our special guest this week. So happy to have him back from MMAfighting.com, a great website. Former.
Wait, put that shot back.
Wait, you can't be an ex-Marine. Well, can you be an ex-attorney in this day?
You can be a disbarred piece of shit.
Jed Meshew, numero dos, in the house. Jed, welcome.
Thanks for having me, guys. Even though we started off so aggressively, I hadn't said a word.
I'm tired.
Wow, this should be a wild one.
You know what time I got up this morning? I couldn't go back to fucking sleep. 2:20. 2:20 I got up this
Okay,
morning.
that's
wow.
When'd you go to bed?
Huh?
When'd you go to bed?
10?
Yeah.
American politics just swirling in your brain.
No. Just fucking Amtrak makes me depressed.
Thank you very much. All right, well, we are going to bang Tui and have a great show for you. One quick disclaimer, though, Jed. I know you're kind of new around here. This isn't your normal preview. We're not going to protect a lot of people except for my future employment, of course. This will be a preview delivered exclusively with real talk.
Like men do?
Like men do. Yeah. All right.
I've never liked that, and you keep doing it 6 years later.
I think that might be why he keeps doing it.
Yeah,
Just to fuck with me.
You know, okay, enough of that stuff. Please like the show. Subscribe to what we're doing here on the MK. We're hitting you a little early this week on Fight Week with Pregame Preview. Of course, though, we'll be back on Friday, but you can subscribe to our YouTube channels and follow us on the socials. And hey, guys, it's December 1st. It's the first of the month, which means...
Cash your checks and get up. Wake up, wake up, wake up.
And also, exclusive merch is here, but so is Cyber Monday deals. Head on over right now to morningkombat.shop. Anything left on the shelves on the backlog is going to go. 25% off t-shirts, 50% off posters. Get a BC and LT autographed. All of our old ones that would never come back, whatever's left, it's there for you until it's gone. Cyber Monday today, December 1st. Get it. December 1st also offers you new exclusives on morningkombat.shop. For this month only, the most powerful merch in the universe, brought to you by Average Joe Art. It is the Morning Kombat Limited Edition December merch, He-Man style going here. Wow. Look at that, Luke. Right?
Mm-hmm.
That's a really nice loincloth you have on.
Yes,
BC.
head on over to our, look at that hot dog on the way, on the belt line there too, on the BC. Awesome shit going on there. Go over to morningkombat.shop. Thank you very much. This program, by the way, is brought to us by Cuervo. So, fellas, we're going to, of course, get into all things UFC 323, the final pay-per-view of 2025 for the UFC, and maybe ever, given their current format, which ends on ESPN this month, starts on Paramount CBS in early 2026. We're also going to react to those first Paramount card announcements, but before we do that, why don't we kick off here, okay? And why don't I tell you something here? This UFC 323 pregame preview is brought to you by Cuervo. Now's a good time to enjoy the tequila that invented tequila. So let's enjoy that. Luke, you want to
Which one am I having? This one?
Yes, please. Get a little bit of that Blanco going on your white ass.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, you've cashed that one. All right.
Yes.
Taught me there while...
Here, you go first. You want me to pour it?
Yeah. You already have it. I had some Cuervo last night with the great Jose Youngs.
Okay, so maybe we should talk about
again.
that. I have to give respect, despite crashing out at the end of the episode due to my
You really did.
over-competitiveness. Jose Youngs did take me to the woodshed, the season 2 champion of the main card minutes.
He has to win that because he's the
prop
one attending
quiz.
all these bullshit ass
So
fights.
congratulations to Jose. Personally, I love him, but competitively, I want to fist fight him. I just want you to know that, okay?
Hey, look,
Thank you very much.
I mean, that like men do.
Yeah, that is
Hang
like
on,
men do.
fuckfaces.
So Luke Thomas will mix his chase right here. He's
Hey, he gave himself a healthy pour.
He did.
I can support him this time.
Yeah, you guys act like I end up having more than you, bitch.
I doubt that. Okay.
Oh, I don't.
When Jed's here, I've had a few 4-shot.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, 4-shot, no.
All right. Here we go.
All right.
Arriba,
Abajo, al centro, para adentro.
adentro.
Hey, wait, you got to touch. There's eso.
Yes. Thank you very much. This is for all the Colombian women in my life.
Good. It's never bad.
It really isn't. Like, I'm
It's
astonished
consistently
by
excellent.
how good Cuervo is.
All right. Woo.
You fired up now?
I am fired up.
Got a
right
little
now.
juice in you?
We got a lot to get into today.
Talk about.
Before we get into UFC 323, the final pay-per-view of the year, while we were sleeping, while we were holidaying, hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving weekend, Black Friday, whatever holidays you celebrate there. Shout out to all you non-U.S. members who did nothing this weekend. Thank you to Shaq Majori for covering all my shifts at CBS Sports. That Canadian fella.
How many times did he text you about it?
None, but I did retweet him just in case.
Did you?
No, I'm kidding.
Hey, you covered Canadian Thanksgiving for him, I'm sure. So it's
I'm
fine.
sure I did that for him. So we did get some announcements here. The first card of the Paramount era for UFC will go down January 24th, T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. Pretty stacked card, top to bottom, a lot of names. The criticism on the spinoff, though, obviously had to do with the choice of the main event. Arman Tsarukyan, the number one contender at lightweight, will not get the title shot. Neither will the champion, by the way, Ilia Topuria, who said for personal reasons going to have to take some time off. Luke, I know you don't want to talk about failed relationships here and the dating of these fighters.
I don't mind talking about it as a factor that contributes to his athletic life. I just don't care about the details.
We tend to
of this.
believe maybe a divorce or a separation in his private life, relationship-wise, is going to keep him out of action. So the UFC went in the direction instead of Paddy Pimblett versus Justin Gaethje for the interim lightweight title over
What an adult response.
the co-main event, a historic one as the women's go. Amanda Nunes comes out of retirement to face former teammate Kayla Harrison
thumbs
for
up
the
on that.
bantamweight title. A lot of good fights underneath that, and then you hear rumors, I don't know if it's official, that the following week it's going to be back-to-back PLEs in this era.
Yes.
UFC heading to Australia for UFC.
No, that's not. Dana confirmed that.
UFC 325, which
In
will
Sydney.
be Alexander Volkanovski in a rematch for the featherweight
Yes,
title with
that is
Diego
confirmed.
Lopez, despite Yves Loev, Lerone Murphy. A lot of us thinking we're going to break that down, but got a little bit spicy back and forth with the competitors involved. So spicy that we got on the horn and called our friends at Cuervo for a little something we call shots fired. Yeah, of course, Shots Fired is presented by Cuervo. Now is a good time to enjoy the tequila that invented tequila. Before we get our guest Jed Meshew's reaction to this, let's go to the videotape Arman Tsarukyan caught up with ESPN's Brett Okamoto to react to him being left out of the next title shot.
I already knew Petr gonna fight with Ilia Topuria in January, but I didn't know they're gonna do interim title versus Gaethje and Petr. They already set up that all things. Ilia didn't fight, and I think this is UFC game plan. It's not like family issue or something. It's they wanna make star Paddy Pimblett to fight for the title with Topuria. Has a bigger name and make it like a big fight. Managers, they already know that they want to make the fight Ilia versus Petty. I already knew that 4 or 5 months ago. They told me, no, it's going to happen. Like, be ready. Like, they know I could beat everybody. That's why they didn't give me title fight there. Petty, for me, it's a easy work. Justin, it's a easy work. Ilia, easy work. Bullshit guy like a Petty. He beat just one rank, number 12, and like they made a fake ranking and put him on the 5. But I hope Justin gonna beat his ass, kick his ass, and we're gonna forget about Petty. Justin, if you need the help, let me know. I'll fly to you and help you. I mean, I want him to win. You know, that bullshit guy. I hate him. I hate Petty.
I hate him. By the way,
calling someone a bullshit guy is
great.
That's a deep cut.
Pimblett will be fighting his first opponent under the age of 38 in 3 years against the 37-year-old Justin Gaethje. Before we get some reaction here, Ilia Topuria did jump in on the socials saying, Patty, win your next fight. Hands up, chin down, and Arman Peta. This dance is for you.
I don't get. I was like, I don't get.
Oh,
yes.
let's see the dance.
Yeah. This is BC at his prom, by the way.
That
guys.
looks like me at our London podcast
It
festival
does.
live show.
Yes,
To be
it
fair.
actually does.
Yeah.
The puzzle pieces in the back are quite nice. Okay.
Let's start right here with our guest, Jed Meshew. I'm sure you reacted to this, and I'm going to guess maybe it was negative. Why is Arman getting the shaft here?
I mean, the cynical answer is they don't want him to potentially beat Ilia Topuria. And this is
I thought it was they don't want him to beat Patty. You're saying even further, they don't want him to beat Ilia.
I mean, I think the cleanest view that I have on this, and I could totally be wrong, but I don't know. It's like once Arman beat the shit out of, I mean, he thumped Dan Hooker, right? Once he does that, he has to be the guy to fight Ilia next. Unless there's an interim champion, because that guy naturally gets preference. So let's have, Patty and Gaethje fight. And that's why Arman Tsarukyan's not fighting for an interim belt, because they would rather Ilia Topuria not fight Arman, which he could win. I think we all think Ilia could beat Arman, but I also think we all acknowledge that's his toughest fight. So let's give him an easier one whenever we do get Ilia back in there. That feels to me like the simplest answer.
Look, is this punishment for Arman fighting just once each of the last 3 years, pulling out of the title shot in January during fight week with a back injury during weight cut issues, and let's say it, having enough family money where he can fly private, eat camel after a win, and negotiation-wise not be subject to the same pushing and pulling from the UFC because he has that leverage? Or is it as simple as what Jed's saying? They think that he might crush Patty, not to mention might take the title from Ilia.
I mean, the reality is this is not super complicated to figure out. If the promotion really likes you, you will get fast-tracked. And if they don't,
Just
you
ask
will
Diego
get
Lopez.
Yes, you will get slow-tracked. I mean, this is not new. This is not very controversial to say. Now, there are other factors, as you indicate, BC. They clearly they want to put some muscle and some energy behind Patty Pimblett. Fair enough. Also, on its own terms, I don't think any of us would argue Patty versus Gaethje is somehow a bad fight.
No, Patty needs a fight like this.
I think this fight makes total sense. I think this fight's good.
Just not as a
I'm
headlining for an
interested
interim
in this fight. The location of it is weird, but I even totally get why they're doing it. Like I get this being the main event over. It's weird to hold that competing idea of like, this is the greatest women's fight of all time, but it's not as important as an interim title fight between two men. But like, I get it. This is their first event. This is the first Paramount event. The idea is going to be bringing in new people, right? Like here are new fans who have never had the product. There's no pay-per-view barrier to entry. It's at an earlier start time. Like CBS is going to get people in on it. You don't want to end that event with what could be a snoozer, because Kayla versus Amanda could be a boring fight for a casual observer. I would bet you anything you want to bet right now that Justin Gaethje fighting Patty Pimblett is going to be fun as hell for however long it goes. Like, it's Justin Gaethje. He is the most proven commodity for ending the night.
What about Gaethje Arman?
I mean, that could be boring because Arman might just tackle him
run
and kill
over
him.
him.
Yeah. And by might, I mean, I think the overwhelming likelihood.
The only
is
reason
that.
they didn't do Arman Gaethje was because they want to build Patty into a star. They want to give him almost Conor treatment. They want it to be a unification when he does fight Ilia. But Luke, does this mean that if you're Arman, you're definitely going to have to take another fight, right? You're going to be out for 6 to 9 months.
But like you said, he got family money. He doesn't have to fight for money. He could just sit.
I know, but he kind of has to fight just to keep his weapons sharp. You know what I mean? Like, dude, he might lose the entire year. I mean, consider something, right? So
he almost lost the entire last year until Hooker came out.
So understand. So they're going to have this fight in January. Then there's going to have to be some kind of title unification. Now that could happen at the White House. Let's assume on that calendar that it does.
Sure.
So then you have it in mid-June, and then the winner of that will have to defend against Arman. Except here's the problem: what if somebody gets injured? What if there's some kind of weird result and they have to do some kind of automatic rematch, or some kind of way where it delays? If I'm Arman, I'm planning on 2027. There's just no way to expedite this. And the thing I'm going to say about this is, look, if you get booked for a UFC title fight and you fumble it, whether it was an injury that was accidental or you missed weight, whatever it was, what the UFC counts on is, did you cross the finish line to help us make this fight possible? Did the train leave the station? Or were you Amtrak and Luke Thomas's train? Which means you didn't get to shit on time and you fucked up everything.
Or were you Osborne and everyone got on board?
Or everyone got on board. But the point I'm trying to make is, we can all agree that the promotion's going to look at that very unfavorably. My only question is, when is Arman Tsarukyan's punishment over? Right? Yeah. When do we decide, okay, he's had enough? I don't know what the answer is. It feels like to me they already did that, and he should have been involved in the beginning of. Because by the way, BC, like
He said he'd turn around in 2 months. He said he would.
and dude, that fight was not very difficult for him. He ran over Dan Hooker. To me, I understand it. I don't hate the fight as such, but it's going to fuck up things. They're robbing Peter to pay Paul on this one. I don't love it.
And I'm not saying this is a
forever.
consolation, but Arman would get first call if something happens between Patty and Gaethje, or if Ilya can't come back as early as possible. He could be back in that title picture. This is not some silent way of setting up Ilya versus Islam, right? This isn't freeing Topuria to do that.
Dana said they weren't doing that. But if they do that, once again, if you're Arman, when are you getting back into the calendar? You know what I mean?
And Arman retweeted that head-to-head, like tail of the tape of him versus Dana that some fan created, which shows you the anger that he rightfully has at this moment. Is there any silver lining to this matchmaking from the idea, and I'm sounding like company man right here, but I'm giving you the devil's advocate side of it. Is there any side of you that's saying, I don't necessarily love this announcement or the Volk Diego Lopez 2 announcement, but we want them to get back into building stars, do we not?
Let me say this.
And if you're going to slow play Ilya versus Patty, I'd rather slow play Ilya versus Patty than rush it out January 24th without a build.
My view is this. It's that, again, to the point you raised, there are ways to look at that and be like, there's some sense to this matchmaking. The Lopez one is a little harder to justify for me, but again, we'll talk about that in a minute. My issue is that, what was the first pay-per-view in the ESPN era? Do you guys remember?
Was it a Holly Holm Brooklyn, or was it Cejudo TJ?
No. It was UFC 236, which was the one you attended.
Atlanta.
Which was Atlanta. It was the first pay-per-view in the ESPN era.
No, that was not. That was like in June.
I looked it up this morning.
That was in June, that fight.
Okay, please double check this.
It was in May or June.
Yeah.
Please,
I'll look it up.
Please double check this.
I would never believe that was the first pay-per-view.
It was the first pay-per-view.
I don't believe it.
It was the first numbered event. It was the second meeting between Holloway and Max. My point being, well, first of all, before I can go any further, we have to make sure.
Elvin.
Look at the Wikipedia entry for UFC 236, please, and read out what it says. Because I did this earlier.
Are you trusting Wikipedia now, Luke?
Well, a little bit.
I'm just telling you right now, I went to Cejudo Dillashaw first because we know that was the first
That was the first event. It was in Brooklyn. I was there for that. Yep.
So there was a scheduled UFC 233 after that did not happen. It was canceled. That was also supposed to be Cejudo Dillashaw. There's a couple fight nights here. UFC 234, Adesanya versus Silva.
That was the first in the ESPN era?
Yeah, that was February 2019.
Okay, let me double check this motherfucking shit.
Well, Luke, you're wrong.
Hold
so
on. I might be. You know what? Wouldn't be the first or last time, but let me double. I want to double check this.
Because we do have to kind of put this to wraps to get into this weekend's card. But what's the justification on Volk versus Lopez 2? Is that just to give an exciting Brazilian-Mexican guy who can cross both countries a chance to go out there and do it a second time, even though he lost to Movsar Evloev, who is more deserving than him right now?
I'm with Luke's argument on the other thing. Like, it's
it was the first one, 236. ESPN Plus became the exclusive distributor of the UFC pay-per-view. Okay, never mind. Hold on, I'll come back to this.
Yeah, Luke's dead wrong. Get ready for Friday, folks. Dead wrong.
Fucking shit.
There's no way to really justify this fight, but I think the way it happened is what Luke said earlier. Like, they like Diego Lopez. He says yes a lot.
I was right. In the U.S., per an extension of its rights agreement with the ESPN through 2025, ESPN Plus became the exclusive distributor of the UFC pay-per-views for residential customers beginning at UFC 236.
Because they extended the deal shortly after it started.
So there was
They had a deal.
They had a 5-year deal, then they put a 2-year deal.
And then they kicked it to 7. Yeah.
Well, what was the first one that you had to have the ESPN?
I thought it was Holly
know.
versus GDR.
I was there for that one. Was it that one?
That's what I thought. I thought that was the first pay-per-view, and it wasn't good.
So this is the first one after the extension, but this is 2019.
Yeah, and did it kick off in 2018? The original deal?
No, that was Brooklyn 2019. I was there for that one, January 2019.
Why is this relevant?
Yeah.
I don't fucking know.
Folly Duran to me, by the way, was UFC 208. So that was way
was way
Fox.
That's
Yeah,
ESPN era, isn't it?
No, because 234 we just said was February of 2019,
Right.
which is the first year of ESPN.
You know
Are we sure about that? Are we sure that's the first year of
That's what
ESPN?
we
Yeah,
need Jose
exactly.
Youngs here.
He would know this
He
shit.
would know this immediately.
All right. To close on Lopez Volkanovski, I understand that
terrible.
Murphy and Evloev are not sexy.
What about Aljo?
But Murphy took a sexy win to get into this point.
Aljo's
okay?
case for the title shot is decent, not great.
No, it's better than Lopez, who has the worst case for a title shot of all time.
Okay, I mean,
Dude, they should have done Aljo. You're right. They should have done Aljo. That would have been
Why?
fun.
Nobody would have complained about
Former
that.
champion, name value. a fight we haven't seen yet. If you still want to make Murphy and Evloev fight each other, that's fine. How does Lopez get to cut the line like this coming off?
I can't justify Lopez cutting the line. I'm just saying I don't know that Sterling is the
He's not the most
top
deserving,
choice
but like,
either.
why not? It's just they clearly just don't want to give it to Lerone and Evloev for whatever reasons.
Yeah.
Like, I don't believe Evloev's ever going to fight for the belt. They seem to hate him for whatever reason.
Yes, they clearly seem to
And
hate him.
I don't know why Murphy's not getting it. He had so much momentum. They're not doing it. This is the most, not the, I honestly think it's the second worst title shot ever given in the modern era.
Wow.
I think Masvidal Usman 2 was worse because that fight had no bearing on anything. This feels,
Don't forget, Holly Holm got the GDR fight off of 2 defeats.
yeah, but
Jose Aldo also
well,
got
the GDR fight was because Chris Cyborg wouldn't play ball and they did. That's at least like
Aldo
a
got
different
the
weight
Yan
class.
fight off
It's
of 2
also
defeats,
bad.
too.
Yeah, but he actually won, so it's
He
fine.
didn't beat Maresh in that first
He
fight.
100%
Anyway,
did.
thank you so much. That
Much
was
like he
clearing
beat
up
Merab
the
Dvalishvili, who we
clutter.
can talk about.
You heard his name earlier. Let's say hi to the 4th member of our team today, the producer, director, bong enthusiast. Yeah, I got to say it. Son of a horned up Aussie who over Thanksgiving, I'm told by Long Island Luke Nocita, and he can confirm here, that his father approached him about this subject.
What?
It was brought up at the dinner table. He said something like, oh, I want to come into your office one day. And I said, Dad, they would fucking love if you came into the office because they want to talk to you.
Now, he means arrive in, or does he mean like come?
Whichever way you want to take it.
Because that's too
And
far.
then he said, yeah, they got to meet a horned up Aussie or something. He said, he basically quoted it. And I was like, oh, God, it's embarrassing.
So it got to him, but he didn't seem upset about it.
Yeah, he
You look
seemed fine.
bothered by this.
Man who jacks off into register comes into money.
That's disgusting. All right. Hey, great to see you, Luke. I didn't want to shit on your show earlier. I was just looking to shit on my loss to Jose. But what is the future of Prop Quiz after I just got, I mean, look, I got some issues with you, but I won't bring them up here.
I mean, Jose's the champion. We move on from that. BC, we'd love to get you. Maybe you want to join this new bracket. We do have a new bracket going. You can get in there
I
again.
need some time to lick my wounds. All right.
all right,
They're
I
calling this my own 3-gun margarita moment. That's what they're calling this.
Is that right?
Yeah.
They happen. I've had a couple of those.
All right.
It was a tough one for you, bud.
Yeah, it was a tough day for me. All right. Hey, thank you for all that pre-stuff. Now we get into what happens this Saturday. In fact, I think we should shoot to that.
Can
all
we
right.
get into another
Velasquez
thing,
style.
Cuervo?
Let's go. We start off, of course, as we always do, as this is the final pay-per-view of the ESPN era, by grading a letter grade on UFC 323 this Saturday. 2 title fights atop the marquee, showcasing the lower weight divisions on the men's side, and a lot of names. Like, I just completely forgot that Edson Barbosa and Marvin Vettori are on the early prelims of this event. Jed, the guest, as Luke checks his email, I think.
Give me
Maybe he checks his stocks.
I'm looking at this ESPN report. The deal begins at UFC 236 on April 13th.
Luke cannot
ESPN
let
Plus
this
to be
go.
the exclusive home of UFC pay-per-view events.
Luke cannot let this go.
Well, okay, I'm happy
He
to.
was originally using it to make some point about this
I'm
first
sure- the
event.
only
and then
temerity, right?
That fell
Oh.
by the wayside.
This
He
is
just needs to
March
be
18th,
correct.
2019. ESPN Plus will be the exclusive distributor of UFC pay-per-view events in the United States through 2025. The first event will be UFC 236 on April 13th, which is headlined by Holloway, Poirier.
So you're saying there was not a pay-per-view for the UFC?
There was
in-
234, yes. But what I'm trying to tell you is this deal didn't get consummated until after the fact. I'm looking at this shit. The deal begins at UFC 236 on April motherfucking 13th.
Okay, but the first UFC card was January with Dillashaw
Yes.
and Cejudo, so there were no pay-per-views in
There
between.
were
you're saying.
pay-per-views, but they weren't exclusive to the
They
platform.
weren't exclusive to ESPN. I vaguely
Oh
remember
yeah,
this,
because you could
right?
buy them
Yeah.
on regular.
That's right. My
pay-per-view
point
as
was,
well.
which one was the beginning of
Okay,
the
but-
ESPN
yeah.
Plus pay-per-view era
Yeah.
for numbered
Okay, it's the
events?
beginning of the
Couldn't-
exclusive, but you could also get them
You could
starting
get it-
after
you
the
still could've
Cejudo
gotten the
Dillashaw
thing.
fight.
I see. So they didn't go exclusive until
Yeah.
Correct.
236.
In the end, you're still wrong, but we love you, Luke.
Yes.
Okay.
You're also kind of right, but more importantly, you're an asshole, and this does not matter.
Yeah,
I know.
yeah,
I just wanted to make sure I understood.
Thank you very much.
I wanted
All
to make sure I understood
To
what the
you,
terms were.
Yeah.
What the terms were. That's all. That's all right.
To you, to Luke.
I'm happy-
To Luke being correct.
No, fuck off. I don't care about being wrong. I just wanted to know what the truth was. Anyway, the point I was trying to make
I
was
always
He's
say
a
the
truth
same thing
seeker,
to
Brian.
you about 9/11, and you're like, no, we can't talk about that in this show.
the point I'm trying to make was the first event that they had to launch the ESPN Plus era featured big names in big important title fights with worthy contenders. Now, Max Holloway moving up.
Okay, but that didn't launch the ESPN Plus era.
For pay-per-view,
For the
it fucking...
exclusive
This
pay-per-view
only
era.
made it exclusive. You could
Yes.
get it on ESPN Plus.
But dude, if you're
before
going to
that.
make everyone funnel into one kind of destination for a pay-per-view driver, you want to have big names in
Yes.
order to do
Yes,
that.
they
And what I'm
did
trying
it.
to explain is I can see some of what Paramount is doing with that, but to me they're playing with the main events a little bit more to generate that, whereas you got a little bit more organically
Yes.
Yes.
with the lightweight and
But
then middleweight
would you
title
agree
fights.
at 324?
That was the only point I wanted to make from the beginning. Holy
Thank you
fuck.
for doing that.
Sorry.
The rest of the fights on there
It's
are
not a
pretty
bad
damn good.
point.
I love that Rose Grasso fight. I'm here for the Waldo.
It's all-
Derek
The card
Lewis
is
one.
stacked.
The card, there's some
By the
good
way,
ass fights.
sneaky ass Figueiredo on that card
Yes,
as
yes.
well. Like,
Rumors of Umar as well.
That's
That's
right.
the
It's
fight.
Umar
Yeah,
Figueiredo.
yeah.
So there's a bunch of good fights on
All
the
right.
card.
Can you grade 323 after we shoot this?
Shoot this.
Yeah.
Thank you. One
For
more
real,
time. We're gonna do it.
I'll give it. We're talking about just card quality. No, everything.
323. We're
You
talking.
getting limber
Yeah.
over here?
I'll give it a B plus. I'll give it a B plus.
I'm going
There's some depth
A
to it.
minus.
I mean, Macy Barber's on. There's a few. Like I'm saying, they loaded the names to
They
give
did.
you some care level.
They
did.
did.
Not?
They did.
I think it's nobody should care about this. It's a very stupid thing. I think it's perfect. Like it's a perfectly designed card because it's a hard tightrope to walk. You don't want to end your, previous broadcast relationship with somebody and just like totally phone it in because that seems shitty. But you want to stack your new stuff. Like you want the January slate to be better.
Yeah.
So they had to walk a line. And I love this card. The main event is, we'll talk about it, obviously. It's an objectively good fight, but like we've seen it, whatever. Co-main event rips. Everything else in the main card's good. It's a lot of depth. Like I intend to have a very good time on Saturday. So A minus.
No bets will be barred when you.
No
get
bets
going.
will be barred. Casual fans probably aren't going to give a shit about this card, and that's fine. But like for the hardcores, for the people watching this program, I think this is a very good card.
The only reason I wouldn't give it an A minus is not because I don't disagree with a word of that. I think that's all correct. I just think if we're going to grade cards when they have star power and we give it a boost in grade, we kind of have to knock it a little bit because it doesn't have it. But dude, you got the best bantamweight ever with the second best flyweight ever in
And-
two fights that are not bullshit ass fights. Like there's and to the point you raised, Talbott and Cejudo on down the list. There's a good. By the way, hello, Marvin Vettori is on the early
I know, dude.
prelims on this
is
card.
pretty sick. So
There's a ton
let's
of
get.
Good. So that's okay.
Okay, but like the fact that he's teetering
Yeah.
kind of makes it its own drama
Yeah.
point.
Let's get into it. Let's start with the main event here. History on the line for Merab Dvalishvili, a pound-for-pound stalwart, riding 13. Riding a 14-fight win streak since losing his first UFC bouts. If he wins on Saturday, he moves into a second-place tie with Kamaru Usman for the longest consecutive streak in UFC history. Even more important, he can become the first UFC champion in a single calendar year to make 4 defenses of his title, in which he did to open the year against unbeaten Umar Nurmagomedov, got O'Malley a second time, got Corey Sandhagen, and will now turn it around on just a couple months' notice in a rematch with former champ Petr Yan. Now, Yan has said when they fought in 2023, the last fight in a stretch in which Yan lost 3 of 4, including 3 of 5, including 3 in a row right there.
Controversially
Maybe it was 4 or 5.
against O'Malley.
4 or 5. 2 split decisions, the DQ loss, and then the unanimous decision loss to the champion Merab before he was champion. What Yan is claiming is he was only 50% in that fight because of a broken right hand. If you check the punch stats, you'll see he barely used his right hand. But Coach John Wood of Camp Merab is like, yo, bro, we also had a broken right hand in that fight and could barely fit the glove over it. And we had a broken toe in the O'Malley rematch. And against Umar, we had a serious back injury mixed with staph infection and an open wound on our leg that would have pulled almost anybody from this. So while that feels good for Petr Yan's chances to say, riding a 3-fight win streak, I was injured the last time, look at who I am since then, does this injury factoid matter? Where it did matter in Pereira Ankalaev too. It did. It did matter.
Did it? I didn't think the injury mattered. I thought it mattered that he fought 5 times in 10 months or whatever like that. He just came in and bulldozed him.
Yeah,
No,
but then when he
don't-
was healthy, he kicked the shit out of him.
Yeah, but that's less because his hand was broke. It was more
All right, Jed.
he's just gassed out. Don't give a shit about fighters saying they were injured. You fight or you don't fight. If you show up to fight, I don't really care what condition you were in because we never know what's true, what's not. Everybody comes in less than 100%. Petr Yan chose to fight, and he got whomped. I rewatched that fight this morning. It's
that true,
deeply uncompetitive. Jesus. I'm going to rename my fantasy team that now. Just for funds. Yeah, no, I don't care about that. Care about watching the two guys fight and make a determination on how
With
we feel.
that said, you do expect a more competitive Petr Yan. If not for the change in injury, how about the fact that he's riding a 3-fight win streak?
I could see a case for him being more competitive. Sure. I mean, there was a lot.
Well, it's hard to be less competitive.
Yeah, I mean, there was 49 attempted takedowns in that fight, 50 perhaps.
Well, let me tell you, I got a text about 10 minutes ago from Aaron Bronstetter.
Okay.
He says, last time Merab faced Yan, he attempted 49 takedowns, which is the same number as the amount of times LT watched Volk versus Max 2. That's an Aaron that's a Canadian A. Bronze.
He was dunking on me in your DMs.
Yeah.
Well, it's true. I mean, there was just an overwhelming flood of attempts, and the guy just, again, you can stop half of them. Even if you stop half of his takedowns, you're still giving up nearly 25 fucking takedowns. Again, I'm just sort of speaking in proportions here. I do think there's a lot to improve on, and the big issue for me was if you can see him stop a variety of different takedown attempts that Merab tries, but even if Merab fails, he just gets to the back.
Yeah.
Right? And then here's Matt returning you, or he's doing other stuff where he's tripping out the post leg or whatever. So he's got all these different things where all he has to do is get a hold of you and start an offensive cycle. So do I think that Yan has better answers to maybe thwart some of that? Probably. Is that enough to win? I don't know.
Can we bring in Long Island Luke for an update on the DraftKings odds of the main event at this moment?
Yeah, my app is loading. Hold on, we're right here. Oh, God.
Johnny on the spot right now.
Always has it.
It's minus 410 for Merab, plus
Jesus.
320 Petr.
Okay, I got to say,
I'm favorite earlier in the week.
I'm shocked by that.
He was a bigger favorite earlier in the week. Money's come in.
Despite Merab's momentum, like I said, he's on the verge of tying second for longest win streak. We're praising Islam rightfully for tying Anderson Silva there. He's pound for pound top 3, basically. I mean, the dude's amazing.
Fighter of the year right now.
Fighter of the year, looking to lock that up right now.
Yep.
While it's that losing streak for Yan is a little overrated when you consider the DQ loss, the 2 split decision loss, particularly that one against O'Malley. You're going to say you thought he won?
I thought he had a case for it. That one's pretty close.
Do you think simultaneously the 3-fight win streak is overrated, or did you see a Petr Yan who cleared his head, refreshed his body, and is looking to be at age 32 as great as we've ever seen him?
I don't know that it's overrated or underrated. It's just, it is what it is. He is one of the 3 best bantamweights on earth. I think he is uniquely poorly suited to fight Merab Dvalishvili. Everyone is
as
going
the
to
most
lose.
well-rounded bantamweight. He's poorly suited to fight him.
I don't know that that's true, that he's the most well-rounded bantamweight, but he's certainly got a case. But you don't beat Merab by being good at everything. You beat Merab by being really good at one thing. And the only other, if I was trying to because I've thought about this a lot, because I would like Merab to lose. I think he's, I just straight up, I have nothing but respect for him. He has accomplished an incredible amount. I do not really enjoy watching him fight that much. He's just not that interesting to me as a fighter.
Really?
I think he's hacked the game in a way that
is
good. But when you shoot 49, you shoot 49 takedowns attempt, you're not trying to hurt somebody. And at the core of this, I would like you to attempt to hurt your opponent and not just make them tired. But that's not the game. The fighting is a game, and he is playing it better than anyone ever in the history of this weight class. I will absolutely respect him. I would like for someone else, but Jan's just, you either have to be super violent and get Merab out of there, or maybe win the first 3 rounds and hold on. But Petr Yan is notoriously slow at starting. So this is just a super bad matchup for him, because he's not going to get Merab out of there with one offensive explosion, and he's just going to slowly succumb to Merab Dvalishvili.
That's the perfect point to transition here on maybe how he would go about changing for the rematch. Yan on the UFC Countdown show did sit down with cameras and his coach, rewatched the first fight on the big screen for the first time, taking, detailed notes and talking to the camera and all that. And his coach said, and Yan echoed it, the only way to beat Merab is to be the one chasing him, not being chased by him. And due to Yan being a notorious slow starter, as you mentioned, Yan says in there through translation, I got to come back and come out much faster. Can he do that in a 25-minute fight and have the gas tank to be there at the end with?
If he doesn't, it's curtains for him. I mean, I'm not going to say it's exactly like Mayweather, but you know how it was. If you were going to beat Mayweather, your first 6 rounds are the most important ones, because you're not winning them after that, period. He's taking that away from you. I'm not saying Merab is exactly like that, but it's a similar kind of doom that
You're
sort of
not winning rounds 4 and 5 against
You're right,
Merab.
exactly.
But ironically, that's kind of how Yan fights. He takes a couple rounds to figure out, take that snapshot and figure it out.
I know,
Download the data.
to Jed's point, that's a terrible matchup against a guy who's shot out of a fucking cannon the minute that the ref says, time to go. So I think, again, the question to me is like, to what extent he can stop takedown, to what extent he can get him off of his back, to what extent he can break grips. And if the first fight is any indication, I think there's probably a lot to say that there is. By the way, Merab, folks don't talk about this enough on tape study. He's one of the very few fighters who actively grabs his own gloves, which is completely legal and totally okay. And guys have told me who fought Merab that it's really hard to break his grip because he's actually grabbing on the inside of his glove hardcore.
That's
it's hard to pull that apart. Yeah. It's real difficult. So, like, there's just so many. Again, I'm not picking against Merab until somebody, like, physically makes me. Like, you need to show me what it looks like to beat Merab. The one thing I will say is the turnaround is pretty quick. And he does carry a lot of injury because Merab seems a little on the reckless side. I don't know if that's an unfair characterization. So you never know exactly how overconfident he might be with some kind of debilitating factor.
Or overtrained.
We're
finding out.
But at the same time, BC, wouldn't you agree, if there is anybody who you would not worry about being overtrained, it's probably him?
But, like, we didn't have any worry about that with Payton until it caught up with him. So when you find out from Merab's coaches, we play that sound all the time that, like, last fight, Merab did a 25-minute, full fight simulation 5 hours before the fight. Like, just had this energy, had to get rid of it. I'm trying to make the case that Yan could be a dog, a sleeping dog here in terms from a betting standpoint. And nobody knows more about betting besides you than Long Island Luke and James Krause. I'm wondering if that needs to be addressed. The idea that Merab is trying extra hard to add on to a year in which he was already fighting through injuries that would have sidelined anybody and turning around on such short terms. Is this the fight that catches up to him? And what would that look like if it did? Just injury?
That is the most, if you're trying to build the Petr Yan case, that's the most compelling part to me. Is like, this is just a lot. Like, if you fight this frequently, things happen. Like, we've seen it forever in the history of the sport. To me, it feels like that'll just make this more competitive than the first one was, because the first one was deeply uncompetitive. And like, Petr Yan's very good. He'll come in with some new ideas. He stuffed a lot of takedowns in the first one.
He sure did, yeah.
He'll be a lot better at it. Maybe he'll have some more ideas, but like, the math stays the same. Even if Merab is injured, he's allegedly been injured every fight, right? He's going to do what he's going to do. And not just how do you stop that if you're Petr Yan, how do you stop that and score? Because if your whole thing is Jose Aldo lost to Merab because Merab just held him and Jose couldn't get offense off, even though he stopped him from doing what he wanted to do. Petr has to find a way to score points. He had some success with leg kicks in the first one. I think that's probably like a decent idea to go back to.
His uppercuts are good against Merab when he comes in, but it also leaves you open for the take.
Uppercuts, maybe some body work. I think I'd like to see elbows from him this time around, just because like that could be more damaging in the interior. But like, I don't know how you get over the fact that Merab Petr Yan's game is to win the later rounds. Nobody's better at that than Merab. It's just like,
check the Umar fight for proof. You can be up 2 or 3-0 on him, and he's going to just turn it up the gear.
He is inevitable.
Betting expert Long Island Luke Nocita, making a case here for plus money on Yan. Can you make that same case? Don't tell me you got a parlay on this. Tell me how to bet Petr Yan in this fight.
I mean, how to bet Petr Yan would be like the plus 13.5 spread bet whenever that drops. Like, maybe he could win a round. I don't think there's much value betting on Petr Yan here. I'm not going to lie.
He can win a round. The dude can win a round.
Yes, he can win a round.
Spread bet might be interesting depending on the
one thing I'm talking about that I feel like no one else is talking about. Yes, this is Merab's 4th title defense in a year, but it's also his 3rd in 6 months.
Yeah.
Like, that's fucking crazy, dude. And I'm a little worried he's going to be burnt out, but you already know we riding with Merab, baby.
Because you're a Long Islander. I get it. Merab turns 35 in January.
If this was another guy, I'd be like, I don't know how smart this is.
Yeah.
But Merab...
I mean, we could talk about that with Josh Van in just a minute. This is Josh Van's 5th fight in 12 months.
Yeah, so for me, I'm like...
6th in 15 months, too.
Yeah, it's like, when we can go 7 and, 18? I don't even know
his professional career started in 2021,
I know.
so...
I was watching some of his fights in preparation for today, and the commentators were like, during his debut, they're like, he started wrestling 6 months before his debut, and I'm like, how the fuck's he fighting for a world title? But anyway, the point I'm trying to make is, there's so many risk factors in the Merab fight that for anyone else, I'd be like, red flag, red flag, red flag. And maybe they'll turn to be red flags for him. But again, until I see it, I cannot pick against this machine.
It's just weird. This would totally turn the division upside down in a way that we just didn't expect.
It's
Because
almost
I think
so good.
Umar's still the guy. I think if Umar just jacks him,
No,
Umar's the
I don't
only
believe
guy
him
I
anymore.
think
Okay,
could
Umar
do
was
it.
compromised in
you
the
don't
first
believe that
fight.
anymore.
No.
Umar had a broken hand in the first fight, and I think he learned the lesson of, oh my God, I got to jack up my cardio to levels that have never been seen before.
Yeah.
I think he has strategists in his corner, Umar.
If anybody can
That's
beat
the tough
Merab,
out.
it feels like it's going to be Umar.
But if Yan flips the script on us, like he'll stop Merab short of this runaway train run that may catch up to Islam if Islam doesn't start getting active.
Dude,
You know what
understand something. If Merab wasn't headlining this weekend, and all we had was the Umar fight, the O'Malley rematch, and then the Sandhagen fight, he's still fighter of the year. Like that run alone of beating guys that good, who would be over him?
I mean, I don't
Argument's Islam.
disagree. I think I'd pick it, but there would be decent cases for Islam Makhachev. And personally, I think there'd be a pretty good case for Valentina Shevchenko, but nobody wants to do that.
Yeah. Who was the
Also,
first
if
fight
Josh
that
Van-
Islam had in
Moicano.
If
2020?
Josh Van beats
Moicano on short
Pantoja, he
notice.
would
Yeah, dude, I'm
absolutely
sorry.
get
The
over that.
JDM fight is great, but JDM plus Moicano is not as good as beating Umar, Sandhagen, and O'Malley in a rematch. I don't consider that the same.
I agree. I would still put Merab. A lot of people
Would put Islam?
will put Islam.
Again,
in
the
that.
JDM
People
win
get
is
it wrong.
tremendous.
If Merab loses, he's not going
Now,
to
if
be fighter
Armin,
of the
if
year.
Armin had lost to Islam and then Islam beat JDM,
Yeah.
that's a
If
different
Islam beat
argument.
Armin and JDM,
That's
I
a
think
different
he
argument.
pretty clearly
People
has
love
it,
getting
but-
it wrong. I mean, you remember in 2019, people voted Masvidal all over Adesanya for Fight of the Year, and I'm just like,
Was that the year he iced
you kidding?
Askren, though?
Yeah, he had 3
Yeah.
wins. They were high
There were 3
profile.
really
Oh,
That
the
was-
Till win, that
and then
one.
Nate Diaz. But guess
Yeah.
what? Izzy beat
He was the
Silva.
inaugural BMF champion.
He won an all-time war against Gastelum to win the interim, and
Yep.
he knocked out Robert Whitaker to win the championship.
That's a pretty fucking great
That's
year.
a really good year.
That's one of the greatest years ever.
Yeah, it's a pretty fucking
ever,
great year.
ever.
Yep.
If Merab beats Yan, he's got one of the greatest years ever.
No doubt about it.
Like it's
It's
absolutely
insane.
it's an
If-
all
to beat,
timer.
again, Umar, O'Malley in a rematch. Again, he's got
And
a second
finished him.
crack at it.
Finished him
Finished
too,
him.
which is important.
Finished him. Sandhagen, who was as ready as he was going to be for that fight. And then to beat Yan, another former champion.
It's one of the best years in the
That's
history of the sport.
fucking insane.
Technically, Tito Ortiz had already done 4 title defenses in a 12-month period. This is the first time to do it in a calendar year, but this is such a different era than then in terms of the quality
For
of
sure.
opponents that you're facing and the evolution of the sport. That it is, dude, I messed up. You ever mess up your dials over here and you just can't get back
Yes.
to it? It's like when someone sits in your car seat.
The middle one is the program feed. The other one is the side tone.
Yeah, but there's a third one too that I'm playing with, and I don't even know if it's doing anything. All right,
Like a third nipple.
Just keep playing with it. See what happens.
Let's get into
You ever seen someone with a
predictions.
third nipple?
Only on Total Recall in that bar in Mars.
I went to boot camp with a guy with a third nipple.
Like a
And-
real one, or like because there are different levels.
I mean,
of
I
third
didn't
nipple.
closely examine
No,
it
but
or
like
tweak
it
it. You know what I'm
looked like a
saying?
nipple, not like a mole or
Well,
something.
they called him third nipple, so that's what, you know.
Danny Garcia has a 6th toe, and you knew a guy with 1 ball. Can anyone hear me?
Yeah.
Danny Garcia has a 6th toe?
That's pretty wild.
That is pretty wild. Yeah. Luke,
That would fuck me up.
That would fuck me up.
Luke,
Look at that a lot. Like once.
check, 1, 2, 3. There we go.
Oh,
I fixed
say
it.
if you're done, I can take
This
over
is the
DC.
voice of God, Brian Campbell, and you're a bitch.
Get your shit together. Luke Thomas, give me a prediction. How does Merab Dvalishvili become the fighter of the year on Saturday?
I think he decisions Yan. Yan's tough. He's fucking durable. He's been in the trenches too. You can't say he hasn't. He is well-rounded to your point, and he stuffs a lot of takedowns. He does a lot of offense, but I just think over the course of time, would you bet? Well, let me ask this. Long Island Luke, if this were a 3-round fight, what would the odds look like relative to now? Same or worse?
They'd be a little closer.
They'd be closer, yeah.
Yeah.
A little closer.
But I still would heavily
Right.
favor Merab.
Then this
the
is the
problem
point.
is like Jan's even worse than 3-rounders. Like he's better suited to 5.
Perhaps even that's true. It just feels like, it's like trying to fight the dawn. It's just going to happen.
I'm going to go Merab by decision, but I am really getting that itch that people are overlooking Yan
I
aggressively.
think that it should be
here.
reserved for the co-main event. To me, that's much more interesting
All
to
right.
get
You,
the itch.
have a
Yeah.
main event prediction?
Oh, what are we doing? It's Merab,
Merab by decision.
Dude, that's the bet every time. Is
Yeah,
Merab
yeah.
by? It's a shocker that he finished Sean O'Malley. It's like his second finish in a lifetime or some dumb shit. Yeah, pick him by decision every time. You're gonna be right way more often than not.
He's becoming one of the best fighters in the history of the sport, accumulation-wise. Like, the run of names is insane.
He beat George St. Pierre's takedown record, too. I mean,
And to take his last 8-9 fights, give me anyone in history who had a run that rivaled that outside of, like, John Jones. Like, seriously. Like, it's becoming
very
one
good.
of
It's a
those
very
things.
good
It
resume.
really is.
And he did it all without being entertaining at all, which is really impressive.
Damn.
Okay, but would he have beaten?
I mean-
Thank you. Would Merab have beaten Prime Aljo at feather?
At feather?
I'm sorry, at
feather.
Bantam?
Bantam. At
Was it
Bantam.
feather? I don't know.
Take that back.
Yeah,
At Bantam.
I have a high
Probably.
level of confidence. Yes,
Probably.
Probably. All right.
Aljo's
there we
more
go.
dynamic, but it's
Aljo has skills he doesn't have, that's for sure.
Merab.
But it's Merab, yeah.
Somebody, this was like, I don't know, like 3 fights ago with Merab. And I don't remember, they tweeted out, and maybe it was like Zane Simon, was like, TJ Dillashaw, prime TJ Dillashaw versus Merab. Like, TJ's a better striker, a better wrestler, much more dynamic, like yada, yada, yada. So if they matched up, I'd say Merab by making him tired. Because that's just it. Like, he has a superpower that no one else has ever had. And so,
if you
yeah,
don't
just
have
keep
to
picking him up.
ration your offense, I mean,
It's unreal.
it just frees you up.
I get goosebumps when we're watching greatness unfold, when we're seeing what Islam's doing right now.
He gets his pillow.
I'm getting that feeling.
Islam usually, sometimes, not all the time, sometimes tries to hurt people. Merab doesn't just try to hurt somebody.
I like
it was
Islam,
dope
I mean.
when he finished Sean O'Malley. I had nothing. I looked like an asshole because I was saying this before that fight, and he finished was like, hand up. If he's gonna, my exact words were, if he's gonna do this, if this is going to be Habib-esque, oh, now that you're the champion, you're just gonna bury people. Sick. And then he went right back to this. And to his credit, he did really hurt Corey Sandhagen. Like he's adding tools, he's developing, but like,
isn't he
try to
lovable
hurt
enough
people.
to soften that? Like if you make these rants against Michael Chandler, we all go, yeah, I kind of get it. Merab's so lovable. He's got the inspirational story to go with
I don't
that.
have an issue broadly with his
You
personality.
just love telling the truth. All right.
I just try to hurt people. This
I
is
gotcha.
theoretically the hurt business. Attempt to hurt
We are
people.
living in an era where ground and pound is declining.
Yeah, you've been talking about that too. It's
Yeah.
just like, it doesn't. If he hurt people more, I would like him more.
Still,
I
mean,
still
again,
respect
the
him
quality of
immensely.
opponents this fucking guy's running through is insane.
I would
mean,
never say anything other than he's incredible because he is.
I mean, look at what Marlon Moraes did to him in that first round, and look at the fact that he
The
didn't
fact that he didn't die, was pretty
didn't
remarkable.
capitulate. Is that the right word here?
surrender. That's what capitulate
Yeah,
means.
and yeah, all right. Hey, let's go to that co-main event. And in fact, the road to the UFC 323 flyweight title co-main event is brought to you by Total Wireless, the official wireless provider of UFC. Get unlimited data that won't slow you down. Let's talk about it. Alexandre Pantoja looks for the 5th defense of his flyweight title that he picked up, by the way, at age 33 and is now on an 8-fight win streak overall. As he mentions, just recently turned 24-year-old. 24.
Dude, I was
Joshua Van, who, by the way,
what the fuck were you doing at 24?
Dude, let me tell you what Joshua Van wasn't doing when I was 24. He was born after 9/11 and made his pro
That
debut
hurts my soul.
after COVID. The two major
The
monumental
pro debuted after COVID. I saw that this morning, and it seriously effed me up. It was like
So-
not even like
What are you
like,
counting as the end period? So when did he
no,
make his debut?
2021, like
Oh,
April of
shit.
2020. He has been a professional for 4 years.
It's insane.
So
It's
15 months ago.
He's
Shouldn't
also
happen.
fought like 30 times. He fights so much.
So last September, 15 months ago, he's coming off of a 3rd-round knockout loss to Charles Johnson, which kind of took the air out of the balloon of this young kid from Myanmar, this prospect, whatever. He's won 5 fights since then. He fought Brandon Royval 3 weeks removed from knocking out Bruno Silva, and then went a life and death fight of the year, all action war, in which Van told me last week, he's like, yeah, I was hurt the entire fight. Like I just gutted it out, and is now getting another quick turnaround to go 6 fights in 15 months at just recently turned age 24. We don't see this. Macy Barber got close to trying to break a record, right? No one's going to break John Jones's record this time around for being the youngest champion at 23. But if this man does it at 24 and goes through Pantoja, top 4 pound for pound, and on his way, he's secured the 2nd greatest flyweight resume of all time. I mean, he's pretty much there. He's on his way, pointing upward at age 35 and just getting better the more money he puts into these camps and acts like a champion. This is one of the better stories we've seen in a while. You want to talk about improbable? Is it only because Pantoja cleaned out the division, or would Van had found his way up regardless?
He would have found his way up regardless because, he beat Brandon Royval, who's the number 1 dude. There's no debating this. Also, so we are clear, October 17th, 2021 is Josh Van's pro debut.
That's insane.
Literally, he has been a professional for 4 years in a row.
It's
And he was
just-
born in
remarkable.
October of 2001.
It is
which is wild.
outlandish. But yeah, Van was going to get here anyway. I was writing about this earlier this week. because I didn't even realize how insane Van's year has been. Like, Josh Van has absolutely an opportunity to make a case for Fighter of the Year if he wins.
Put that back up. Put that back up.
Oh my God, what is it?
Oh God.
I don't. My sister's gay, so I don't really know how that one works, but we can try.
Oh God.
I mean, those producers, man, they're just
Those producers,
Wow.
yeah, this guy.
wow.
Oh my God. I didn't write that. I didn't
Wow.
write that.
He did.
Somebody's getting fired. Wow. Yeah. Wow.
The thing about Van is, like, everyone knew Van was a good prospect. Go back and watch his first fight of the year when he was unranked, by the way. So we're clear. He started the year unranked by anybody who ranks fighters. It's like, oh, he's 23. He's going to be great. Like, he's a super good prospect. Even by the summer, like when he fought Bruno Silva, I think he was ranked 14 in the UFC's rankings. Bruno Silva was 12. So he's like, was 12 in June. And then he short noticed Brandon Royval. It's like, well, I guess actually he's the number one guy.
He didn't just beat Royval. He boxed him up.
Yeah, it is an unreal run. Like, if he beats Pantoja, he has a legitimate case for Fighter of the Year. I don't think he'll win it, assuming Merab wins, because what we already talked about. But
He'd
like,
have a strong case.
That's
5 wins.
He will be top
right?
5 for sure. It's 4 wins.
4 wins. That would be 4 wins.
4
Okay.
wins, but including Brandon Royval and Alexandre Pantoja is pretty sick. Like, it's a great run. And, like, even if he loses, he'll almost certainly be back. But yeah, man, like, out of nowhere, one of the most improbable title runs I've seen in the modern history of the sport.
But the bigger question is, how much of a chance does he have? The odds from DraftKings?
A good one.
The odds from DraftKings.
Minus
Spicy.
238 Pantoja, plus 195 Van.
That's respect to Van.
That's all. Dude, you talk about the second best flyweight of all time, the Cannibal, and this guy's got that not too far in terms of the odds.
Tell me if I'm wrong. Pantoja is not showing any signs of weakness here. He's not showing decline. He's not showing anything.
He's only getting better.
Yeah, if anything, he's correct. Totally. If anything, he's only getting better. At a bare minimum, creating distance between himself and the pack. But Van, dude, is just he just like, you know, whatever metaphor you want to use, a bat out of hell. Here he comes. And I actually looked up a lot of the takedowns that he gave up in various fights. He gave up 4 to Ray Saruya, by the way. But
And also Ray Saruya.
Ray Saruya is an amazing wrestler.
Is a
Even Daniel Cormier
wrestler.
Daniel Cormier in the commentary was like, "Holy shit, this guy's a good wrestler." But the real common denominator is nobody, and I mean nobody, can hold this fucking guy down. He gets up butterfly guard. He gets up using the fence. He gets up off underhooks, from side control, you name it. Nobody can keep him. Cody Durden got 2 takedowns on him in 1 round, and the total control time was 9 seconds.
How's his BJJ defense?
So listen, it doesn't matter. Well, defense, we don't know.
You're saying it doesn't matter if he's getting back up.
Right, because the thing is, it's like no one's really applying it. I mean, this is, to me, why this fight is so interesting, is because, for example, Saruya would give up position and let Josh Van go behind him and then arm throw him, right? So kind of like a Santa sack there. But the reality is he would get him up against the fence because you can run him to the fence, and he wouldn't use his legs to trip him out. Well, Pantoja is one of the very best guys in the UFC at running you to the fence and then using legs to trip, but not just to trip, but against Kaya Sakura to trip and then take the fucking back.
That's the thing.
This is it. So to what extent can he deal with someone who can get to the back? We're going to find out.
Can Van lure Pantoja into being the same fighter he was 2 years ago when he outlasted Brandon Moreno to win the title in just an absolute dogfight down the stretch? Remember the speech to the dad? Like, it was just this moment. But yet in those 2 years, Pantoja went from like lovable brawler to complete, well-rounded, technical fighter. Can Van lure that version of Pantoja back? And is that the best method of victory for the young fighter?
I mean, I think it'd really help him. I don't know if he can. I love this fight. This fight's awesome. The back taking is the thing. Yes, it's hard to hold Van down. If you can take his back, you don't have to hold him down. You just are on his back. And Pantoja is probably the best fighter currently doing that. Like, that's a lot of his game now. I don't know if Van can get that. Like, that would help him if he could just get a dogfight. Like, I think that would be good for Van. I don't know that he'd win it. Pantoja is a crazy person.
Yeah.
But, like, honestly, to me and Luke, I'd love your take on this. I was watching stuff in prep for this. Both men want to come forward, so, like, their whole style.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that ultimately Pants is going to win that. And so then Josh Van on the back foot might be a very different animal than, like, Brandon Royval giving him sort of a fight that he is comfortable with. Because Pantoja is going to be in your face. And I don't know how Van will, like, he's really good when he can get the jab going, let the mitts go to work. I don't know how good he's going to be if Pants is just bullying him around.
Calling him
the cage.
Pants? No, this is wild, right?
I've been calling him Pants for years because why would you do Pantoja when Pants is great? It's a great name.
I mean, I got to give him that, right?
Yeah, Pants.
Or you could just say his name.
Pants. His name is Pants.
It's one. Okay, so there's a couple of central questions to this fight. One is what happens when he's on the back, right? And his route to get there. Two is exactly what you're talking about, which is they're both come forward guys. And so that can't happen in totality. It's like that's going to give somewhere. I actually feel like, on the one hand, that's going to open up Pantoja to a certain kind of Van who. Here's one thing about Van. Van doesn't understand his own limits. I know he lost to Charles Johnson. By the way, a good fighter.
Yeah.
But still, he's so full of young confidence. Everything has come so easily that I don't even think I'm sure he takes Pantoja seriously, but he almost thinks like there's an inevitable solution to all of this, and I think he might walk into trouble. Conversely, if Pantoja is not shot, but if we finally see the shop-wornness show up, then the combination punching is going to be a real big problem. But to answer the question, as best I can tell, I actually feel like this could disrupt Pantoja's forward pressure by getting Pantoja to shoot, get him to sprawl, and then go to the back, or get him to defend, down block, and then go to the back, and then get him to then run him to the fence. Because there's no way you can just let Josh Van walk you down. It won't work. You will lose the fucking
does
fight.
not work.
No, Pantoja, who I mentioned, was 35. This is his third fight in 12 months, but first fight since June when he took out KKF. Is there any sort of revisionist history to look back on how, yes, Van outlasting Royval was very impressive, and he
Outlasting?
Might be the fight of the year.
when outlasting him in a war, just went through hell with him.
It was a one-sided war, brother.
No, that fight's more competitive.
That was
There's-
1-1 in the third.
There's actually an
Van
argument.
drops him, yeah.
There's an argument for Royval until the very
Van
end with
won.
the drop.
Van won, certainly. That fight was competitive.
What I'm trying to say here is my biggest argument in that fight, because I thought Royval would box him from the outside at a high pace, but actually work into defense. I was a little disappointed that Royval went in just full-on Terminator mode, was there to be hit, hands down, walking forward. Is there any fool's gold in that? Because we did see Van swim at that level and survive, but Pantoja's not going to be as easy to hit. It's not going to be that type of fight against him. You are going to be raising.
He'll be that easy to hit in brief spots.
Mm-hmm.
He will be that easy to hit in brief spots. He will, he'll bite down on the mouthpiece too.
That is true.
You know, it's just that
that's how he beat
Royval
Moreno.
will do it for long.
I mean, Royval
stretches.
left the front door open the entire
Yeah.
fight.
Yeah, I mean, one side it
the
was
basis
maybe a
of
little
his
bit
game.
strong, but I kind of felt like Van was the guy who was doing from beginning to end the much better combination punching, and I think that carried the day ultimately.
He landed the
He is-
harder shots. Royval was out spamming him and in his face.
He was
and just-
absolutely landing better. Royval was throwing 2 times as much, and so he was landing.
I mean, for
almost
me, I
equal.
rewatched that fight this morning, and for me, there was just a lot of problems with Royval's game plan that I
Yeah.
kind of hated. That Van was able to take advantage of. That, by the way, Pantoja's not going to do and doesn't have the same body type anyway to allow
Pants,
those kinds of
yeah.
things. Pants, right?
Yeah.
Pants.
Yeah.
Pantalones,
Also,
we
yeah,
call
yes,
them. Yes.
yes.
slacks if he's feeling really nice. You know?
I've never had
Is he a
Alexandre.
G?
We could call him slacks if he was a white guy, but
Yeah.
I feel like it doesn't
And
work.
to be
with-
fair, I've never had Alexandre around my ankles during strawweight fights, which you always say I do. You know what I mean?
Where's the crickets?
All right, sorry. Connecting the dots.
I
on
need to
few-
do a shot after that.
Yeah, I think we should. I think we
Why
should.
don't you
get
brush
in-
your hair higher,
I think
motherfucker?
we should get into the Blanco.
Look
right?
how high BC brushed his hair. Look at this. Put the camera on this
My
fucker.
hair is as high as our production.
You're gonna get
crew.
struck by fucking lightning. You're gonna get struck by lightning doing that shit.
Yeah, I am. Okay. Yeah, I am. As we pour this, give me 3 words to describe the UFC on ESPN era that's coming to a close this month.
Oh, 3 words. What the fuck type of shit is that? It happened.
Cool.
Like it's hard to know like to what extent. I mean, I guess if we're doing ESPN, it's like, oh, thank God we're off because that platform is
yeah,
just
this man
not,
and dealing with the plus, no more.
I
more.
didn't say anything.
I know,
No,
but
your
I'm
histories with ESPN
comfortable
Plus,
saying
yeah.
I'm deeply happy to move to the Paramount Plus
Yes.
platform. It's just I've never had issues with it, and I constantly have issues with ESPN, so that's nice. It's hard to know to like what extent ESPN played in the watering down of the sport that has happened. It probably just would have happened anywhere because that's sort of
Well, they were the ones that wanted content almost every weekend to fill
yeah,
out.
but
the
like
app.
that, but that probably just would have happened. Whoever they signed
Fair.
to brought, that's just sort of the trend that is happening in general. So
I interviewed Dana White in 2011, and at that 2011, he told me he wanted to have events on two different events on the same day in the world, right? So you'd have one
Oh,
in
yeah,
Abu
they-
Dhabi, one in
yeah, they
So I'm
tried
saying
that
they've been
once.
trying to scale forever. To his point, they
Yeah.
would have done it anywhere.
Yeah, it would have done it anyway. But like, it is just they are the people who were here when we got the influx of Contender Series people, and like the apex happening
Good point.
ever present. So it's like
And the pandemic pushing everything to the
Escalated
apex.
everything.
But they were hot coming out of the pandemic.
No, of course, but I'm saying it also created some long-term
Yeah.
relationship to the apex.
That's a fair point.
That
Yep,
would not
that probably would not have
necessarily have
happened.
happened but for the pandemic. So it changed a lot of things. I mean, I'll say this. Look, I mean, I don't know.
Well,
I've watched. Have you watched games on Paramount Plus yet?
uh,
NFL games, maybe.
Yes.
I've watched them.
So I watched NFL games. I watched Champions League games. I have not had a problem
Want to
with the
watch
service.
me shoot this shot, or are you gonna take part?
You still got enough in that glass. Let's go.
The backside of my
Why don't
balls.
why don't you
can
man
lick 'em.
up?
Get that
okay?
backwash in
Pretend
here.
this is Paris Island right here. all
We
right?
didn't booze on Paris Island. I didn't have Libo there. I'll say this. I think that if I've noticed something from the Fox Sports deal to the ESPN deal, it's that it starts out real nicely. There's a clear high water mark during that tenure, but by the end of it, the deal has outlived its usefulness. And you'll recall, for example, so we didn't even talk about this. They're moving the pay-per-views, numbered events, to 9 p.m. for a start time, which, by the way, for us
Rocks.
East Coast
It's the
guys,
best.
Love it.
is
Oh,
the
it's the best
fucking
announcement.
best.
Yeah.
Is the fucking best. But you'll recall, one of the things that was so important about the ESPN deal coming from the Fox Sports deal was all those fight nights started at 10 p.m. and would go to 1 a.m. no matter how fast the fight went. And it was so brutal to watch. And they adjusted for many of those things.
Sure.
So each deal is just getting a little bit better and I think more accommodating to the fans, more accommodating to our interests. But I think it's outlived its usefulness. The high water mark of the sport during the COVID era is just not where we're at anymore. And I think going to a new player with a new media environment and a new sort of force culturally is kind of what the UFC needs. How
Pretty good
far can they take it? I don't know, but
It's always nice to mix things up, and like it's not free, but there are no pay-per-views, so that's just objectively better for the fans. It's time.
It
Look,
is
you
time.
don't want to stay doing the same thing forever.
Also, I remember after Francis Ngannou fought Cain Velasquez. So when that fight ended, they pivoted immediately to SportsCenter. And SportsCenter at that moment was hosted by Chael Sonnen and Ariel Helwani. And
Whoa! Which fight are you talking about?
Cain Velasquez versus Francis Ngannou.
Oh yes, of the ESPN.
And they
era,
pivoted
yes.
right to SportsCenter, and it was those two guys in studio. Like, when was the last time they did anything like that? When was the last time they had a bunch of fighters or media personalities? I mean, they'll have them on First Take and whatnot, but it's happening more and more infrequently. Like I said, I think the relationship was useful and it was really important. Ups and downs, things we liked, the things we didn't. But I just feel like it's at the end of a natural conclusion. This pivot, to me, actually makes a lot of sense.
And it officially comes to an end a week after UFC 323 with the Fight Night card with Brandon Royval and Manel Kopp. To close out our co-main event preview here, it is prediction time. We know Joshua Van can do this. But like Steve, will he do it? Luke Thomas?
Dominicans, Mexicans.
Anyone can get it.
Anyone can get it. I'm going to go Josh Van.
Well,
I'm gonna go
all
Josh
right,
Van.
You're picking with your heart again.
I have been wrong about Pantoja any number of times, so please take that into account.
Yeah, like when I said Till would get finished by Woodley, and you're like, nah, he won't, bro.
We weren't working together at that point.
Yeah, MMA beat. All right, look up the archives, okay? Thank you.
You have like 2 right calls that you served for 10 fucking years.
Hey,
Meanwhile, the
keep
other
doing it, that's
8,000
fine.
you got wrong. Somehow you don't even acknowledge. Look, the reality is Pantoja is incredible. And Van is vulnerable. I admit it. But I just kind of feel like he's going to wiggle his way free to positions of attack, and it's going to be enough to win 3 rounds on the judges' scorecards. There you go.
That's fair, but I don't think it happens. I'm going to go on the flip side and go Pantoja getting a decision in which Van shows some good stuff for the
Why
future.
not a sub?
Because Van has moxie. Van has a
He's
hungry.
got a fighter spirit, for
You're
sure.
right. For a guy that was knocked out a year ago, he doesn't
That's the
act like
concrete
it
data
ever
point you're
slowed him
looking
down.
for.
What?
Moxie.
Moxie.
He's got
no,
just-
it's true, dude. He fights.
Just like Jared Vanderbeek
He
in
doesn't
that
fight
football
recklessly,
movie.
but he fights like a fucking 24-year-old kid
He's a
who just
flyweight Max
who
Holloway.
doesn't
He rocks.
understand risk, and it's both a blessing and a curse. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
against Charles.
Pantoja can still win 4-1 here. How do you see it?
I'm going pants by decision.
Yeah.
I'm not decision, submission. The Cuervo's
Oh,
getting
okay.
to, I think he's going to tap him.
From the back?
Yeah, from the back. We mentioned it earlier. We didn't. This is the Van's 5th fight in 12 months.
It's insane.
That's at flyweight. Like that is
That's
a
Merab
lot
level.
of-
Okay, but he's not 33.
He's not.
He's
And
24.
so, like, I'm not massively confident in this prediction. I'm much less confident in the main. But like 5 fights is a lot. Even the Brandon Moreno fight, like as great as it was, there are some extenuating circumstances. It was short notice. Like Royval was not preparing for that sort of matchup. It's hard to get out. Like he just lost to Charles Johnson like a year ago because that's how often he's fighting.
It's insane.
But like Charles Johnson isn't remotely as good as Alexandre Pantoja. And I think that Pantoja is going to have a lot more success in backing Van up, which I think will be key. And I do think once he gets to the back, Pants at the minimum is going to win rounds by just taking it and holding it. But I kind of like his, like, every time I've seen Alexandre Pantoja, he has gotten so much better. And I was skeptical at first, and he is just like, nope, can't. I cannot deny him anymore. Maybe age catches up to him. That'll be sad because he's an awesome champion. But like, I'm gonna stick with him. I'm gonna ride him like you with Merab. I'm
Ride
just
it
gonna
until he
ride.
proves otherwise.
I'm
yeah.
riding Pants until forever.
That's totally fair. I mean, these two guys have earned that reputation.
Yeah.
They've both earned it. So fair enough.
Plus, like, I really want to see Pants versus Kyoji. That would make me really, really happy.
Yeah, that'd be a good fight.
That made me really happy.
That
So-
would be some good time Bushido. You know that.
We didn't ask this before we move on very quickly.
Oh,
If
please.
Merab finishes Yan, is there going to be pressure on him to go to 45?
Not until he beats Umar a second time.
That's the one?
I mean, I'm not wrong, right? I'm not wrong on that.
Especially since Umar's fighting on
the
this January
conversation
card.
will
Yeah.
start. Because there really hasn't been that. It will start of like, hey, especially because like I personally think Volk's going to retire after the Lopez fight. That's not inside information. What the fuck else?
It's been leaked, yeah.
Yeah, like I think his coach is doing the thing where he's like, I don't know if he's gonna quit, but if he did just leave featherweight and do fun fights, that'd be cool. Which I actually totally agree with. Like bail on featherweight and just go fight Charles Oliveira, that'd be awesome. But like once Volk, I think Merab versus Volk would have some appeal, but if featherweight just gets open, if Volk does retire or leave, the call will be there because fans in the sport don't care about that.
Let's go to the 4th member here. Co-main event, who wins?
Pants sub round 3.
Round 3.
Speaking of pants, have you ever asked a chick to walk you to your truck or what?
Okay.
I don't know what that means.
Okay. We're doing, you know what's
See, I got
you
a
know,
dead
you know-
wrong you too.
I mean,
You-
I can grasp what that means, but I don't.
No. He's
care for that.
doing what we call skits and bits on the show.
yeah. Yes, Long Island.
you said Jared Vanderbeek before. It's been bothering me. James Vanderbeek.
James Vanderbeek, excuse me, Cheshire, Connecticut. Yes, he was the quarterback in what's that movie?
Varsity
Friday
Blues.
Night
Varsity
Lights?
Blues.
No,
Varsity Blues.
The
with
other
that
one.
And he was Dawson. Shout
Wait.
out.
Yeah.
James
What's Friday
Vanderbeek.
Night Lights?
Friday Night Lights is both an incredible TV show and a film based on a true story.
So who was in that fucking film?
Well, Billy Bob Thornton was like the lead as the coach of,
In the film.
Oh,
But who was like the teen heartthrob or whatever the fuck?
remember.
I don't even remember.
Yo.
Friday Night
Chin,
Lights
look
is
that up.
probably a better movie than Varsity Blues, but Varsity Blues is I don't want your life.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hand to God, I've never seen either.
Oh
Wow.
my God,
He hates dramas about teenagers when guys like us are like, bring them on, right?
Like, we were talking before
Teenagers
air
are scum.
about one battle after another. Varsity
Your kids
Blues,
notwithstanding.
right there. Like Varsity Blues is right there. You should watch Varsity Blues.
I'd rather get shot in the face with liquid Ebola.
But when the chick has the cream on,
the whipped cream bikini?
Wow.
That was a formative
I'll just watch
experience
Total
for
Recall.
young
She got
men.
3 of them shits.
Yeah,
Well,
she did. All right.
that's-
Let's just
You're older,
let's,
so that is your
let's
formative
close out
experience.
this topic, all right, and keep it going. Hey, let's stay in the flyweight division though, and keep on moving down that card. Former champion, the 31-year-old Brandon Moreno shook off a 2-fight losing skid against elite opponents by split decision in both fights to win 2 in a row. Now he's got a quasi number 1 contender bout here against Tatsuro Taira, who is what's his catchphrase?
No.
I'm happy.
I'm so happy. Thank you.
Yes, that one. That guy's great. I
Is that a
love guy.
catchphrase or is he just delightfully Japanese?
He's delightfully
He's
Japanese.
very
25 years
Tyler.
old. We saw him lose a split decision of Brandon Royval 2 fights ago. That was a quasi fight of the year. Comes back to submit Park
Okay, hold on.
Hyung Sung.
Maybe we have different characterizations of how some of these fights go. Fight of the year, yes, but he got a little bit big brothered in that one
Oh,
too.
he absolutely lost that fight. The fact that
lost
it
the
was a
fight,
split
Luke.
decision was a robbery.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But you're like saying it was like Do you think it was competitive?
It was a split decision.
There were
I understand, dude. You can get split decisions and it can still be relatively one-sided.
No, I
So-
thought it was competitive.
But it was and wasn't. The rounds were not competitive either way. Taira like clearly won 2 rounds because he just had the back for like
Right.
a long period of time, but he lost the shit out of every
Unlike
other
you, I
second of
listen
the
to with the
fight.
volume on so I can hear all of Bisping. All right. All right. All right. So much Bisping right now on UFC TV. Wow. Wow.
Shut
Anyway,
up, shut up,
my
Mike.
view on that fight is it's close, but there was a little bit of big brothering that happened in one direction and not the other.
Right, yeah.
Okay,
Did you know
that's my point.
Bisping's favorite 90s band is Second Eye Blind?
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Sorry, we lost that one.
I don't love that
We
joke.
lost that one on turn 4.
So
All
we're
right,
clear.
All right.
Blur works for that joke and is better.
Yes!
Like,
That's so true!
Yes, yes,
I don't-
yes, yes.
you- so we're clear. Yeah.
Oh my
Well
God.
done. Well
I don't know
done.
how you did that.
That works better in like 10
On
ways.
like every level. It's a much
He's
better
not wrong
joke.
right there. Brandon Moreno, Tatsuro Taira. Will the winner of this get a title shot? Or will
No.
Gooch have to? I mean, because look, if Van wins it, you reset the division. It's going to give people that don't have a shot at getting Pantoja, again, a chance to get back in there. But if Pantoja wins, is this a number 1 contenders fight? Or does Horiguchi have to win another one?
Let me ask you a question because I hadn't considered this at all. If Luke is right and Van wins, does Pants get an immediate rematch?
He has to. He has to. Even
What if
if
it's just not competitive?
how could
Sure,
it-
okay,
how could it
short
not
of-
be?
I mean,
Short
but,
of
like, what if
one-way
Van
traffic
just
from
blows
I
the
mean, even if I
doors
think
off him?
even if I think Van's got a good shot at winning, I don't think he's going to go in there and just like
I
fuck
agree.
him up. I mean,
Like, I mean, if that happens, then no to your answer. But like, if Pants wins, they're not going to run back Moreno. So maybe if Taira wins, I think Kyoji's just a very clear and obvious if Pants wins. If not, things get open. And like, I mean, I'd watch any of the flyweights fucking fight, man. Like, I'd watch Brandon Moreno and Alexandre Pantoja fight 30 times. I
I'm
would
with
have
you
no
on
issue
that.
with that.
Roy Vol, I'll get trilogies out
Same.
of both of those rivalries too. But what is going to happen in this fight? Is this going to be Moreno using his boxing skills to
Yeah,
control the chaos of Taira coming at him?
Tyra's getting better over time, and we don't want to sleep on that, but it just seems like this is a little bit striker versus grappler. Again, Moreno can grapple, and Tyra's getting better with his striking, but let's be serious. Like, if I told you that Taira won't get any takedowns, who would you pick? It's like Moreno, easy, right? And so that kind of tells you where the emphasis lies. So for that reason, I think this is about Moreno down blocking, making sure he doesn't get to the back, and if he does, he gets escaped quickly. And if he does that, dude, Moreno has fought and beat much better guys.
True. Taira, though, 7-1 in the UFC, is he in title contention with a win here?
100%.
Because Moreno might cut to the. I don't know. What do they do? Do they go do Horiguchi next because he's 35?
They're doing Horiguchi if he wins. Like that both sides want it. Honestly, I want it. It would just be cool. It's really fun that they're teammates who want to fight. Dana has historically hated that teammates don't fight. So like,
Yeah.
All right, but
Why
if,
They've
not?
kind of served it up here a little
if
bit.
Van wins and you don't do the rematch and Moreno wins, then you're kind of opening that.
Moreno's 100% getting if Moreno wins, Van wins, and they don't do the rematch. Based on your breakdown, Luke, I just want to. Hey, Long Island Luke, let's throw to you. Can we get the odds on this one?
Yes.
From our friends, because I think you're going to be surprised at the odds here, Luke. Because I certainly was.
No, I think you'll be
So it's
surprised.
plus 120 Moreno, minus 142 Taira.
Moreno is the underdog.
How the
Wow.
fuck? Okay, walk me through that logic, Long Island Luke. Tell me what the odds makers are seeing.
I don't fucking know the logic because I saw the line as well and went, oh, I'll take Brandon Moreno as a dog gladly. Thank you very much.
Are they saying he's damaged goods? You think?
Yes.
I don't know, dude.
They
we were
must be.
That
were
line
talking about
sounds
it-
like Peach's Delight to take the plus money there. I'm
I-
all
it's
in.
really
I think
nice.
they're just thinking Tyra's going to get him down. And if he does, sure, maybe he can control him, win 2 rounds. But, like, I don't know, dude.
I think he probably can get him down. I don't know if that's going to be enough. I mean,
Yeah.
Better fighters than Tyra have gotten him down and not been able
dude,
to
the guy
hold
went
him down.
fucking 3 fights with Figueiredo. Like,
Even 4.
4 fights. What am I saying?
Yeah.
Thank you for the real time did wrong.
He's fought 3
Well, I mean,
against
I've had-
Pants. So
The point I'm trying to make is, dude, he's fought guys who can do similar kinds of things. And actually, Davison Figueiredo much more heavy-handed than Taira. So, I don't know. That one's a little baffling to me.
yeah.
I really like Moreno's boxing in this one. I don't even think he needs the ground game. I think it's just going to be.
Well, he needs defense.
He needs to defend the ground game for sure. But, like, I think you're going to see. I mean, they'd love to plug him right back into another title shot. You know that. So.
Yeah. They shouldn't.
Well, they're giving Diego Lopez the
Uh-huh.
Brazilian Mexican kind of thing, and they're going to UFC no. I mean,
Long Island,
they
are you
might.
are
They
you taking
shouldn't.
chalk here? What are you doing?
Yeah, I'm taking Brandon Moreno money line.
Well, that's not chalk. That's
No, it's
plus
also
one.
Well, either
high,
way,
yeah.
I'm taking
Like,
him as a dog. Let's go.
I think there's a case that Brandon Moreno won the third fight with Pantoja, like a pretty decent case. He just might be like he's right there with Pantoja. I don't understand why he's the underdog, which probably means Taira's going to run over him and I'm going to look like an idiot. But I can't see it. This feels
This-
like
this
Moreno's
two-fight
The
win
only way he
streak.
runs over him is if, excuse me, is if he's shot born. That's it.
Well, the 2-fight win streak, the last 2 fights for Moreno going back to last November, are decisions over Albazi and Steve Ursek.
These are
He
good ass
He also
fighters.
beat Roy Val. I know he lost that decision. He beat Roy Val.
That was a split decision back in 24.
He clearly
yeah.
won that fight. I don't know why.
And the
he
title
didn't.
loss, to your point, was a split decision loss to Pantoja. So Moreno's been at this for a long
He's got
time.
a little
Still,
bit of that Petr Yan thing going, which is these guys
actually,
get
yeah.
losses and they get out of it and they put wins together, but it's decision after decision. Now Yan has, I think, 3 of them. This is only 2 in the case of
Sure.
Moreno. But they come back and they're able to get wins and look good, but there's a certain kind of vitality to their game that's missing. And I feel like that's the case of Moreno. Nevertheless, I still agree. I think against Taira, I'm a little surprised at the odds, but I do sort of recognize that these guys get losses and they come back and they're very good versions of themselves, but not exactly the same barn burner they may have once been.
hot take, Long Island Luke. Vitality is only the 5th best Pearl Jam album.
I said vitality,
All
not
right.
vitality.
That's not that hot
I
of a
know.
take,
Yeah,
no.
pretty hot take.
What's
right
the
there.
best Pearl Jam? 10?
Versus
10.
10
Versus.
versus or 10?
I think
people will say 10, but it's
I think
versus.
10 or yield, but
Nah,
Yield?
Yield's like
Wow,
4.
look at you coming in.
I'm making a run on yield right
I,
now.
I have a
Pearl
hot
Jam?
take that Dark
mean, I
Matter is
have.
up there, man.
Oh, get out. Well,
I'm
I'm
not
not
like
it's a
a
hot take,
massive
hot
grunge
take.
Neither.
person,
I
but, like,
mean,
it's
I listened to
fine.
them in high school. That's about it.
Honestly, that's much more my speed.
All right, that was great. Are you guys going with Moreno here?
I'm
I'll go
absolutely
Moreno.
going Moreno.
Yeah,
I
I'm
like
taking
Moreno.
I'm taking the underdog
And
right there as
the
well.
thing is, I love Taira. I want that to be clear. I've loved Taira for a long time. Moreno's just really, really good. So
all right, I have a history lesson to teach the fans. If you could put the camera on me, viewers, thank you so much. You know what? Now is a good time to remember where tequila's story truly began. Let me take you back to 1795. Cuervo invented tequila. And since then, Cuervo has done nothing but stay true to its roots. The same land, the same family. And you better believe that same passion. 230 years later, Cuervo is still right here. In every pour, in every celebration, in every margarita, and every Morning Kombat pregame preview. So enjoy the tequila that started it all. Cuervo, the tequila that invented tequila. ProximoCuervo.com. Please drink responsibly.
BC, you know where else Cuervo is?
Where?
It's about to be in your belly.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Luke Thomas, will you join us in this?
He's re-upped. He reloaded.
Okay, he is a real man. You know, we've had our back and forths over the years, but it's more brotherly love ultimately, even
Look,
though he's a decrepit human.
When you bring me on, I understand that my job is to just get you drunk. To just, hey, let's do as many of these as I can make you take.
Pants off, baby, right?
Pants off, baby.
Yeah, although pants will be back on in the Saturday's co-main event, all right? There we go.
Do you know? I don't know. Is it? Have you heard the thing where if you don't like toast everyone at the table, you'll have bad sex for 7 years? Have you heard that?
No,
No,
I've heard
that's a
the thing
great
that if you
gimmick.
don't join me in the chest press after doing the shot, it really won't work through your body.
Okay. All right.
ready?
I've never done it. Now I'll
All right,
chest
let's
press with
go.
you. Let's press some chests.
I've pressed a few chests in my day, back in the day.
I want to make a joke right now, but we have
Look at
we
Luke's
have
face.
sponsors, and we'll get fired if I
Look
make
at
it.
Luke's face.
My favorite thing to do is I take my daughter to gymnastics, and there's a Mexican restaurant next door. And after it's over, we all get dinner, and I'll have a few margaritas, kind of the point where I'm buzzed, and then I ride my e-bike home. It's my favorite thing to do.
Do you think I look more
How long
like
do you
you
have to do
riding the
this?
e-bike or the Norwegian metal fans rowing on the
You're very crew right now. How long do we do this, BC?
until it feels great? Oh.
I mean, it always feels great. It's
Woo!
Cuervo.
Do you know about the metal fans? Have I told you about this?
I mean, Norwegian metal fans, every story I've ever heard is that they're the worst people.
So
Or great
I went
people.
to a concert and the opening band, the opening band I liked. The headlining band I did not like, but I didn't care. I was just, I'll
what
see.
was it? Fetus Death?
No, it was Amon Amarth.
Okay.
They're like a Viking. They call it Viking metal. Okay, I
Okay.
didn't know because I don't go to Viking metal shows. It's not my shit. I get there and I'm at the. If everyone who's ever been there, I was at the Fillmore in Silver Spring, and the Fillmore has this kind of like ring at the top where you can kind of look down on the floor. And I was up there because I'm old. I'm not trying to fist fight anyone, and I'm go home to
Okay.
my wife like, why are you missing teeth on a Thursday? Dog. when that
Sexy.
dog, when that band plays, these losers sit down in the middle of the dance floor or whatever the fuck you want to call it, the floor.
Yeah.
He's right. I've seen.
And
a video.
they pretend like they're
Rowing
rowing
a Viking
a
ship.
fucking boat.
That
And I
fucking-
was like, dude,
Oh, that's
where
awesome.
where is a mass shooter when
Oh,
you need
wow.
one? You know what
No,
I'm
that's
saying?
an incredible bit.
I
Just
saw it
rowing
and
the
I was
long
like, and
ship?
I was like, I don't. Are they? Like, I thought I didn't know what was happening. I was like, are they pretending to row a motherfucking boat? And then I was like, you deserve to be bullied. You deserve the life that you lead. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, that's a great gimmick. Can we bully BC for burping directly
I'm
into
sorry
the
about
microphone?
that. Jed, we're a few sheets into the wind here.
Couple of 'em.
What's new in your personal life as we transition through this card? As
Why
you
are we talking
transition
about my personal
Are you
life?
married?
through your
I'm not
life?
married.
Are you going to get married?
I don't know if I meet the right woman. And I wanted to clearly say woman because I've been in your comment section and that was critical to delineate that.
Okay.
Jed, yeah, thank you very much, Long Island. Jed, how's life? You know,
That's good. I mean, I get to watch, I'm hanging out with you bozos.
Yeah.
I've had several shots of Cuervo at this point.
you went out drinking with not Jose Cuervo, but Jose Youngs.
Jose
last
Youngs,
night.
where we
Yes.
had some Cuervo.
Yes.
So this is really kicking me back up to a happy spot. And we get to talk about, I really like this card. I mean, we've
Did
been
y'all
through
go
the
out in
big
Alphabet
stuff.
City? Where'd you go?
Here, wherever. I don't know New York, but
Okay.
Jose lives pretty close to here, actually. So
Right.
he took me around to a couple of bars.
New York's expensive. Remember the first time
I figured that out last night.
Yeah, dude, this is true. This was 2000, 2001. No, not even 2000. Like 2000. A buddy of mine went to Columbia University, which is on the north side of town, and I visited him from William and Mary. Okay, at the time, a pitcher at the local Greenleaf in Williamsburg, Virginia, was $6. This is like the year 2000,
Yeah.
whatever. I went to New York City. It was fucking $20,
Damn.
and I was like, "Holy shit!"
Josh Van not born during that story.
Yeah, not even born. in that story.
yeah.
I couldn't believe it.
Your thoughts on the relationship between jet fuel and steel beams?
I've heard people say that it can't melt steel beams.
Okay.
I haven't done my
Wow.
own research.
Hey,
so.
back to the card.
I
It's
like how this
important to do your own
motherfucker thinks he's
research.
like some expert in civil engineering.
Let's go to the 323 main card and we'll go to the bantamweight division. 37-year-old, excuse me, former champion Henry Cejudo is back, riding a losing streak. In this entire comeback from his 3 years off has been a losing skid, although I do think he looked good in that comeback title loss by split decision to Aljo. It's been a little more downhill since then, losing a decision to Merab, and then you had the eye poke gate with Song Yadong, in which he was getting pieced up anyway. Well, how about this for great matchmaking? I do give the UFC a lot of credit. Payton Talbott, the super prospect at 27 years old, already has bounced back from that, heat check loss to Ione Barcelos, who is on a streak of his own. Fellas, when you hear Cejudo Talbott, your first emotion is what?
Hilarious.
Great fight. Like, weird, but a great fight.
Hilarious in a good way.
Yeah.
In a good way, not a bad way, right?
It's never would have thought of it. I'm interested. You got me. You roped me in. So, like, yeah.
It's not a pairing I would have assumed, and it seems like do or die for Cejudo. I mean, this seems
Well, I
like
mean, is
Did
it?
he
It's
say
his
it's the
retirement
end?
fight.
He said
so-
it's the end here.
he's officially.
I mean, I don't know.
teased
If,
it. He's
he's
teased it
been
aggressively.
saying that.
Yeah, but I think if he wins, he's going to try and.
I mean, it's MMA.
So he's
never,
officially 38.
never believe in a retirement.
3-fight
ever.
losing. Look, if he loses, that's 4 losses in a row. He's going to go. He's 38.
But I'm saying if he goes, it's obvious. I'm saying if he wins, I don't buy that this is his last one. I don't buy that he calls it a day. I think he's going to try the Kamaru, being like, I got one win.
Yeah, he's like, let me get Volk for that featherweight title.
For Kamaru, I was the old pound for pound guy versus the current. But
Yeah.
you mean you're not ranked?
They
What
might-
the
they
hell-
still-
how is this a selling point?
They still might do that.
Kamaru will tweet for him. Well, the only fight you can make is Cejudo
My
versus.
point being is if Henry goes in there and just jobs him, then I think that he actually sticks around for potentially some lucrative paydays. But in the event that it's like lackluster, or certainly if he loses, it's definitely the
Let's
end.
set the line here. Can we get a
What is
quick,
the line?
quick odds from Long
Pretty
Island?
wide. Plus 230 Cejudo, minus 285 Talbot.
Damn.
big
Now,
price.
that only surprises
So he
me
looked
because
like
you're-
shit against Barcelos. Talbot did.
Yes.
But then rebounded big against what was the Brazilian kid's name? Almeida?
Felipe Lima.
Lima. Rebounded nicely against Lima, looked really good, vastly improved. Is it enough against Cejudo? Probably is the answer, but I don't know.
I mean, the question is Cejudo full washed? Because he
Right.
looked really bad against Song. Like before,
did. He
Okay,
did.
but
before
Song
the
Yadong
non-
is physical, experience.
Yeah, but
great.
he
He's a
looked
great fighter.
speed-wise, he looked a step behind the whole
yeah,
fight.
the whole he got bailed out by the weirdness at the end. He was getting thumped. He looked pretty bad in that
It was
fight.
30-27, 29-28 on 2 of the judges' scorecards.
Yeah.
Is that true, Jed?
What is
As
this?
standing pro boner offer to all female.
That's honestly one of your better efforts.
Oh,
Shout out to you. That's actually.
all right.
I've been on this show enough. I'm surprised it took us that long to get to that. But well done. That almost makes up for you fucking up the blur obvious one earlier.
you're
so.
right. You're right. Sorry about
They,
that.
they can't all be beggars.
Shoot or shoot.
It's like a UFC calendar. They ain't all going to be beggars. You know what I mean?
Like, I don't know, man. If Cejudo can still take him down, he might just win because Talbot is really bad at that. Like, he showed some improvement, but Felipe Lima's not.
Guys,
he's not.
Maybe
Right.
the answer to this question will answer who wins this fight. Who is Peyton Talbot right now? Like, where is he really headed?
Peyton Talbot has shown some real ability, but a lot of the hype behind him is because he is an irreverent figure inside of MMA. There was a big New York Times feature on him about how he's got this relation or friendship, whatever you want to call it, with Frank Ocean. He doesn't conform to traditional standards of masculinity in a sport that's like hyper masculine in that way. And that has certainly set him apart and elevated his figure.
10-1 as a pro.
10-1 as a pro. He just looked really bad in the Barcelos fight. And the other part, too, is like Cejudo was low to the ground, good at getting body locks and then trips. And Talbot stands real tall, you know? So this is going to be one of those ones that is an interesting thing. But it's like Talbot is one of these personalities where if he's able to break out, I think can make a real big splash culturally because of how distinct he is as a phenomenon.
I agree.
I mean, you nailed it. Like, he's such a unique person that, like, I think most MMA fans probably, like, won't gravitate towards him, but he could bring in a very different
outside crowd,
like a very different section of people because he is pseudo famous and connected to famous people in Frank Ocean.
It's
Okay,
clear.
but-
And legacy media loves him.
What did the Barcelos loss? What was the biggest worry you took from it? What did that
That he
expose?
lost to Jaime Barcelos, who's like a good fighter but not a great fighter.
Was it the gas tank?
He's had a nice little run.
He's on a run.
Howney is really cool. You talk to him like credit. He is the definition of like a plus journeyman.
Yeah.
Like a guy who's been around, but that just means he knows how to fist fight people. Like he knows how to fight.
He has
people.
a way of gassing out young prospects. you know?
Yes, and so like he's a guy who never fight for a belt, but it's just like like Jorge Masvidal was that way. He just kind of rolled high and got super famous at the end. Like Howney's in that sort of category.
He's Jeremy Stevens,
Exactly, and so
the hardest hitting 145er.
I know who he is.
respect.
Thanks.
But like, I don't knock him for that, but it is a setback loss, and the question is always, how do you respond to your first adversity when you're a high level prospect, which is what he is. He looked really good against Felipe Lima, who I like. I think he's very good, like a talented guy. I love the matchup. I never would have thought of this fight because, like, frankly, kind of why would Cejudo take this one? It's really good. Like if he beats Cejudo, you can strap the rockets to him, like fire this guy up the
Yeah.
rankings because he's
To your point,
he's
because
built for
you
it.
started this conversation about judging this UFC 324 card and the Paramount era about, like, don't you want the UFC to build stars? They're laying it out for
Yeah,
him.
they really are.
That's a
They
really,
really
good,
are.
That's a really good point.
Long
Yeah.
Island Luke, are you riding in any direction on here? Because I think all of us knee jerk would have said great matchmaking, but I still like Cejudo. The odds makers don't. Where do you slide in there?
That just makes me like Cejudo more. You're giving me him at plus money, especially this wide. Plus 200 or higher is crazy to me. I could see like a 175
It's a
range.
big
This guy's eating back
Yeah,
there.
hey, why don't you eat more during a live broadcast? Very,
I
very
had a mouthful
professional.
of food. I couldn't tell you could tell. Sorry, I'll chew gum next
We
time.
got to get his horned up dad in here one time, right? That would be probably one of our more highly
You're
critical.
going to ask you, do you use condoms? Obviously not. Hey-oh. Oh, fuck you. I don't get the fucking ringer for
I was
that.
actually throwing out my trash for the food I was eating that I
yeah,
couldn't
yeah,
hear
yeah,
what you
yeah.
said.
You deserve the horns. You did.
Fucker.
Who wins? See, now everybody's going quiet. Everybody got a lot to say until it's time to
this
make
is-
the pick.
It's a total 50-50 for me because like
Yeah.
it's hard to be like in my head, I guess I'll pick Talbot. But like it's like I don't know, Henry needs 2 takedowns.
I
Which
think I have
are
a
super
Colombian
possible.
coin in my bag.
that should answer this
I'm gonna
question.
flip it. I'm
I
gonna
like
flip it. I'm gonna.
Would you have consummated the late lead singer of the Cranberries?
I
Speaking
don't
of,
know that person jumps out in my
What do I
head.
have here? No. What the fuck is this? Oh, here we go.
You have several coins.
No, I have
Pick
a
one and
euro.
Flip it.
I have a
Ooh.
euro.
No one does better analysis than coin flipping.
I'll have a euro.
What do you have a euro in your bag?
I have no.
Because
I have no fucking idea.
Because he went to
Colombian.
Barcelona. No, Madrid. Which city did you go with your wife and it changed your life and then you became a
I
huge
went to Madrid
soccer
before I
fan?
ever met my wife. You fucking idiot.
Oh, it was Barcelona, right?
Barcelona?
Barcelona.
You at Barcelona?
No, it was Madrid actually.
It was Madrid.
To be
and then
fair, Barcelona rocks.
you know, I have.
He talks so much shit about it, and then he would go and be like, "Yo, this shit rules."
Yo, but
bro."
isn't that like?
I've been
isn't that
twice,
like
it's
a
freaking
foreigner
incredible.
arriving on their first U.S. trip in New York, going to a Yankees game, and being like, "I'm Yankees fan, yeah,
Yeah,
right.
it
brother?
seems-
I've been all over the world. You've barely left the states.
Look, Barcelona rocks. So
So I got Colombian
fine with
money
it.
here. Ready? I got 20,000
Are you
pesos.
you're gonna flip a peso.
I got
Is that what you're
20,000
doing?
pesos, and then I've got a motherfucking euro. How about that? How about that? All right, we're gonna flip it. So here we go. If it's
Look, do you stand by Colombian coffee?
okay, so the quality is high.
Yes.
I don't.
He got so serious. We are fucking around, and he goes, "Okay, so the quality is high.
The quality of Colombian coffee is high. The manufacturing quality is high. However, the style of beans and the way they cook, they prepare it, it's not my preferred style of coffee.
Do you
It's
think?
too floral for
Do
me.
you think a World Cup own goal should be payable by death in Colombia?
No, that's
Here we go.
far too much.
All right, if the one shows up, I pick Talbot.
Oh, this
okay?
is great analysis.
There we go.
Wow, this puts the anal in analysis.
Are you
here,
doing the
Luke.
flip or not?
The one. Talbot.
one, Talbot.
Give me Talbot.
Okay, Talbot.
Where
Here's
are
my.
you in?
Here's
What
my.
did you
Here's my.
Dude, I want to feel like there's a happy ending here for Cejudo that he can like retire on this,
You making
but
that joke because of Peyton Talbot?
no, I'm not. But I will say Cejudo, he's let me down on this comeback. Like I think he had it in the Sterling fight. I just think he started too late in
was
that
close.
specific fight, and I give him a lot of credit on 3 years off, even though we, in hindsight, and even his coach Eric Albarracin agrees that like it was a bad move for his legacy and what he was building. Maybe he needed it for his personal life. I don't hate the loss to Merab, even though I felt like he ran out of options there. He just wasn't on Merab's level.
The loss aged really well.
But that
given what Merab
it
is.
did. But that Yadong fight, man, even short of the eye pokes, just it showed me that he's not on this level anymore. That he had to really go to extremes to even land shots and really get deep in his bag of creativity. I think he gets outworked and he loses the decision here to Talbot. I think that's what it is. And then he retires, and he is. I doubted him throughout most of his run. I've come like a fine wine to age with accepting and understanding how great he actually was. He's one of the best fighters of all time, Henry Cejudo. He doesn't have the resume to say that, but I think he was opportunistic in his window. I think he had some of the best fight IQ I've ever seen. I think he really evolved from the early version of him who had that fight of the year with Joseph Benavidez to become the title-winning version
after
of
losing
him.
to DJ the first time, he became a different guy. There's no question.
I mean, he's great, but this is the end of it. This is where it ends. And he'll be competitive, but it'll
How
be
old
in
is
defeat.
Talbot? Did you say
27.
27. I mean, dude, a 27-year-old shouldn't lose to a 38-year-old, right?
The stats are pretty mega on
Yeah,
that.
they should not happen. So for that reason, and because
That's
I flipped
also
that way, I'm gonna go
well,
Talbot.
fair. You picked Van, but that's also true of the co-main event.
Right. Oh, right. Well, again.
The stats are
yeah,
on your side.
yeah,
if there's
yeah.
a 10-year age gap, it's
Yeah,
pretty
you're right.
big.
You're right. You're
Look,
right.
what has been the biggest age gap in a female-male relationship that you've upheld?
Dude, I'm not one of these losers who does that kind of thing. I probably at most a year or two.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
That's good. Good for you.
No, sorry, your mom. I forgot about
Oh
that
my
one.
God. Oh, wow.
Got him.
Wow. Wow. I have a few follow-ups, but I can't for a few reasons. All right. Hey, let's go to the main card opener. 40.
That was perfect.
Wow. 40.
Hey, look at me.
Yeah. 42-year-old former light heavyweight champion and big fan of suicide ropes from the forest. Yan Błachowicz will come back here.
Jesus, what the
Against-
fuck?
Fuck.
Did you? That's where he gets his power from.
I don't know if he's like a big fan. I mean,
No, he loves
hey,
it.
you guys keep killing yourselves out there.
No. He grabbed that rope
I know
from the
he did. I know he
suicide
did.
forest.
I know
I'm
he
not
did.
doing a Logan Paul Japan bit.
No, I know.
Believe me.
I
I've
know
done that
you're
bit.
telling the truth
Yeah,
about it. I know you are.
I want to tell you about his opponent though, Bogdan Guskov, who is riding a 4-fight win streak, all by stoppage. Only UFC lost a submission to Volkan Ozdemir, who did have time for that bout. At 33 years old, this Uzbek is about to bang with Blachowicz. Guys, no one's talking about this fight, but it kind of rocks balls, does it not?
Yes and no. I love this fight.
Aw,
I love No
What
Ho
happened?
Hank.
Put it up.
Put it up. Whatever it is. Fuck him. I don't care.
I didn't put anything up. I don't know.
Yeah, what are you
Put it
talking?
up.
This, yeah.
I love NoHo Hank. I think he rocks. He's super fun.
Do you know who this NoHo Hank is?
This is the first time I've heard that term.
It's Bogdan Guskov looks like a character in NoHo Hank from Don't Worry About It.
Barry
Steve
from
show. Great.
HBO Max. Great show.
He's
Okay.
he's a killer for hire. Don't worry about it.
This is the Bill Hader guy thing?
Yeah,
Okay.
that show. Bogdan Guskov rocks. Jan Blachowicz is really good
Was
at
he
making
42?
42.
Yeah, but he's really good at
But
making
Guskov
people
just
not
finished
look
Krylov.
good.
He just finished Krylov.
He did. And Nikita Krylov is really fun, but like
He's
also
real up and down.
real up and down, and he's currently on a bad streak where it's like, oh, he's actually probably just over, like he's kind of just done. Jan Blachowicz is the best fighter in the world at making you look shitty. Like anybody who fights him
Has been outweighed by all
not
girlfriends.
all of them, certainly some of them, and that's fine.
Hey, I like him thick.
Yeah, well, who cares? That's not even an insult. Usually you're insulting me. That's fine.
Those producers are vicious.
Jan Blachowicz is so good at making you look like shit, even if you beat him. Like Carlos Solberg beat him and looked terrible. Like
So hard to look good against.
nobody looks good against him, and I don't know if Bogdan's gonna win. I hope he does because he's new and interesting, and Jan's 42. But
I'm waiting for the
I
heavyweight
don't know.
version of Jan Blachowicz to come. I'm waiting for
Why
actually this.
hasn't he moved up?
this class
honestly,
of aging light
I've never
heavyweights.
thought of that. That would be really fun. He should do
Imagine
that.
if him, Yuri, who else could move up? You know,
The big Austrian kid.
Alex Pereira could move.
no,
on.
no,
Yeah.
no, no.
yeah, that could
Rakic.
happen.
Rakic.
Imagine if Jamal
Rakic is
Hill
the
just
one.
gave up
The
training
big
and got a big
Austrian.
gut.
He's Austrian.
And just went
Well,
out.
I'll be Serbian.
Could
but-
you
Yeah.
imagine a big gut heavyweight Jamal Hill just throwing bombs in there?
I don't know that it would work well, but sure, why not? Like
yeah,
they should close down heavyweight and merge it with 205. Everything heavyweight's just 204.
Wait, who's
and
fighting
up.
Derek Lewis coming up?
Waldo.
Waldo, WCA,
Yeah, on
baby.
that first card. Like he's
Yeah.
40 something too as well.
Long Island Luke, what are the odds in this Błachowicz fight?
So Jan's the favorite, minus 135. Guskov plus 114.
This is a step up for Guskov, but does Jan
Definitely.
still have it? He is coming off what, a layoff? Am I correct? in
We
saying
fought Alberg.
Fought
this year?
Olberg earlier this year.
Yeah, this year.
that? All
Sometime.
right, so it's not that bad, but that is
but
winless
it
in
feels
his
like
last
it
three.
feels like he had a lot of like momentum.
0-2-1 in his last three.
Yeah, it feels like he had a lot of momentum, and that momentum has kind of petered out.
So it was a split draw on a title fight to Ankalaev. It was a split
He probably
decision
lost that
loss
fight, too.
in Pereira's 205 debut, and then it was the decision loss to Olberg. So he's not being dominated. These are close fights against
You don't.
super elite
Nobody looks good against him. Nobody's
That's a
ever
great
looked good
point.
against.
You
other
got to
than
ride
Glover.
Błachowicz here. You got to.
Yeah, I'm not super sold on Guskov if that's what you mean.
Do you remember that footprint that Błachowicz put in the side of Dominic Reyes?
Yes, reasonably, Blachowicz is probably going to win this fight, but I'm going to choose to believe in Bogdan Guskov because light heavyweight is in desperate need of like interesting young-ish people. So I hope Bogdan kills him.
All right. Well,
And I like Jan.
transitioning out of the main card, I have to tell you, MMA ain't the only thing that's hot right now. In fact, if you can put the camera on me, thank you so much. The NBA season, it's rolling like fire right now, and DraftKings' newest game, Pick 6, is the easiest way to play for your shot at big wins. NBA stars are lighting it up. Now, their numbers aren't just highlights. They're your shot to cash in if you know what you're talking about here. Here's how it works. Just pick more or less on 2 or more player stats, and the better your picks are, the bigger your payout. So nail your picks tonight, and don't just win. Stack up those payouts. Here's what new DraftKings customers are going to get the opportunity to do. Get $50 in Pick 6 credits with just a $5 entry on your first pick set. Luke Thomas, ain't that right?
I don't have this thing.
All right. Well, don't just watch basketball. Pick, play, and cash in. Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app right now and use our code COMBAT with a K. That's COMBAT. KOMBAT. Play just $5. Get $50 in Pick 6 credits instantly. Make the call. Ride the upside in partnership with DraftKings Pick 6. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org in Connecticut. Must be 18 plus. Age and eligibility restrictions vary by jurisdiction. Pick 6 not available everywhere, including New York and Ontario. Void where prohibited. 1 per new customer. Bonus awarded as non-withdrawable Pick 6 credits that expire in 14 days. Ends December 2nd at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time. Terms at pick6.com. DraftKings.com/promos. The main card is behind us, gentlemen, but there's plenty of names on the prelim and early prelims here. Let's go with the featured prelim in the lightweight division. Grant Dawson welcoming Manuel Torres. Luke, that makes your loins do what?
Not much.
Really?
I like this fight.
It's fun. I mean, it should do something.
There was a time we believed in Grant Dawson, and then Bobby Green
He's
sent
still
him to
very
hell.
good.
But he's
No.
won 3 in a row, Luke.
Yes,
since
he's
then.
very good. He has a very smothering grappling style. It's useful as a way to both win and test other prospects, but you're asking to have a high degree of like interest in it. That'd be overstating it.
Manny Torres, 4-1 in the UFC, did rebound from the TKO loss to Bahamondes, in which let the rhythm take it over.
That's by Lomos. Yes.
Bounced back to stop Drew Dober. Are you feeling the rise of Manuel Torres in this fight?
Maybe he's really. I mean, Grant Dawson he's a one outcome fighter. Like he gets takedowns or he loses. Manuel Torres has been pretty good at defending takedowns historically, not from the level of Grant Dawson, but this is the most classic MMA fight of like, well, if Grant Dawson gets takedowns, he wins, and Manuel Torres is pretty fun. So I like this fight. You shouldn't like feel a lot, but there should be a tingle. You should have something going in the loins for it.
Luke is dead down there. Believe me, there's no movement. There's nothing happening. Luke, like that time Showgirls came out of VHS.
What about this one?
There will be a finish in the next fight. Lightweight, Terrence McKinney versus Chris Duncan.
You got to feel something here.
Come
That's
on,
great.
tell me.
Chris Duncan, actually a pretty good fighter out of Scotland, obviously, right? And then Terrence McKinney, the Evil Knievel of MMA, which I say
He's 31, by the way.
as a compliment.
That's an incredibly good comp.
Yeah.
That's so
Dude,
good.
it's gonna be one way. How do you handle like the cannon explosion?
Yeah.
That's really the only. That one is awesome. It's just a question of like, what does Chris Duncan have to handle that kind of pressure, immediate like onset of pressure? I guess we'll find out. He's obviously more well rounded, but
In the last 2 years, Terrence McKinney is 4-1 with 4 stoppage wins. Of course, when he loses, he gets stopped early. It's always feast or famine. The bettors are feasting. The entertainment watchers are feasting. I had said this after his last fight. Is it time for Terrence McKinney to turn back the craziness on that dial and become a contending fighter?
That would be the worst idea. Like, that might be the worst take you've ever had.
Wow.
Look, he's never going to fight for a belt, and that's okay. Like, not every fighter has to be a champion. It's okay just to be beloved because you deliver an expectation, a performance that people can gravitate to. Terrence McKinney is perfect because he's like, Justin Gaethje ended up winning belts and championships, but like, if he didn't, he would still fight the same way. Don't change who Terrence McKinney is. Let him get or get got, baby. Like,
Okay.
I don't need you to be great. Just be you, and it's perfect.
This man, Chris Duncan, 5-1 in the UFC. He was stopped on the Dana White Contender Series by knockout against Slava Claus. Is he dead to you for life because of that?
no, because he rebounded against Rombechki, and that was a big deal for me.
Okay. He's only lost, by the way, against Manuel Torres, the man that you have no
Right.
faith in.
I didn't say I have no faith in it. I just didn't say I was like especially excited about it. But Chris Duncan to me has shown me some skills. He's shown me some resiliency, certainly. So I like this contest. It's just, it's going to be chaos for as long as it lasts, right?
That's a fair point.
Be awesome.
Point. Let me tell you about somebody who's coming off of a 21-month layoff here. Somebody that we consider a true contender at 125 pounds. Or do we? I'm talking about Macy Barber against Corinne Silva.
It's that long?
This is tough matchmaking, but yes, it's been that long since Macy
Well, she had been back previously, but remember she got problems at the finish line.
I just did not realize it was
So
that
she beat
long
Caitlin
since she fought.
Sermonera, Chukagian, back in March of 24. For the record, it's a 6-fight win streak for Macy. There's a reason why we consider her as sort of a contender in waiting.
Yeah.
Stopped Amanda Hebos, split decision wins over Andrea Lee and Miranda Maverick, beat Jessica Aya Montana De La Rosa, then beat Chukagian Sermonera, who's, a gatekeeper in a sense. We know who she is, but can she be the fighter of old despite the multiple medical setbacks that have kept her out?
I'm going to guess yes, because she's still relatively young, but like, it's a question, right? Like, it is, I don't know. She was supposed to fight Erin Blanchfield. It all fell apart. I don't know the extent to her medical issues, but they seem not insignificant. So this feels like the right kind of fight to bring her back into the fold, let her get her legs under her. I don't know what top end? Like what's her ceiling really? She obviously said she was going to be the next John Jones. That's unlikely. She's talented enough. She's young enough. There's a lack of star power in this weight class. She could bring that. This is a really good fight for her to sort of reestablish herself. So I'm interested. I genuinely did not realize it was that long since she fought.
And by the way, Barbara's only 2 UFC losses. The wheels fell off against Roxanne Modafferi when she thought she was angling toward a title. She got gassed out. She was hurt. There was a few things.
Mm-hmm.
Then she lost the decision to Alexa Grasso, in which I thought she won. I thought she had an argument there. She's won 6 straight since then. A few split decisions, a lot of time off. Karine Silva coming after her, who's 5-1 overall. The only loss to Viviane Araújo. I still think the same motor that makes Maycee Barber great, back fully healthy again, is still going to be there. She can take you down. She can ground and pound. She's mean. She's aggressive. Does she end up fighting for a title?
I think she will. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Whether this is the one that gets her there, I'm not so sure. UFC's probably a little bit cautious given some of the health concerns and delays and or impediments that has caused. But I think as a general prospect, they want her in positions of prominence for sure. And I think she'll earn them.
Long Island Luke, what are the odds here?
Minus 180 for Maycee, plus 150 for Karine.
It's a
It's a tough fight.
Probably
It's a tough
about
fight.
right.
That
Yeah.
sounds right, yeah.
All right, I'll be looking at that fight closely. I want
Of course
you guys to
you
know
will.
that. To close out the preliminary portion of the card, Nazim Sadikov against Faris Ziam, the man who sent Matt Frivola to hell in France in a lightweight bout. What are we expecting here? If you're saying nothing at all, then I'll just move on.
No, it's a fun fight. Both guys are pretty talented. I saw what's his face. He was cornering. Nazim Sadikov was cornering a guy I was commentating for XFC. He's big for that weight class. Surprisingly, although Ziam is kind of like lengthy for the weight class as well. They're both far enough away from doing anything super interesting that I think the conversation is a little premature. But this is a meeting of talented prospects. I can put it that way.
Sadikov 4-0-1 in the UFC, the one draw against Slava Claus, who keeps showing up in these conversations. No?
He does. This is lightweight's the best division of the sport.
You've been saying that for years,
Forever.
even
And-
after Bantamweight took it over,
Yeah,
and now welterweight
it didn't take it over. It never did. I was always
but
right.
welter
and
right now.
history has continued to prove me right. This is why. Like, these are the top 40 lightweights, maybe.
Something like that.
And they're awesome. They're really good. Like, on a good night, they could beat top 10 dudes, which is like, this is why lightweight rocks. Like, Frisium's on a really good run right now. Frankly, so is Sadikov. Like,
7-1 in his last 8 is
Yeah.
the only
Really?
loss by sub to Terrence McKinney, who will either get you or
get
you'll
your
get him.
guy. Yeah.
That's it.
So this is exactly why lightweight is as good as I've always said it is. Put a lightweight fight on a card, I'm in.
All
That's
right.
it. I need nothing
All
more.
right, Jed. Let's go to the early preliminary card where suddenly some names pop up in the featured early prelim on ESPN Plus, Disney Plus, and FX. Is that really true? It still airs on FX?
Yeah, so
Sure.
I'm not sure.
Good Lord. Marvin Vettori is somehow showing up here against Bruno Ferreira. What happened?
3 losses in a row, I think at least, maybe 4 for Vettori. Remember, he beat Roman Dolidze and then rematches him and then loses
3 in a row and 4 of his last 5.
Yeah.
Plus,
I mean,
he's not
in
fun.
dire straits. I mean, the guy was young and very good. And you're like, oh, by the time he fully rounds out everything, he's going to be great. And then it just
He's only 32.
Didn't happen.
Let's be honest.
Progression isn't linear.
He
in this
never
sport.
found a finishing gear,
Yeah.
whether that be knockout submission or even dominant wrestling ground and pound. He's sturdy as shit. He can take a punch like nobody
Incredibly
else.
durable.
He's a
got one
pretty
of the
good
best chins
offensive
I've
fighter.
ever seen.
You'd say he's a pretty good offensive fighter.
Sure.
He's fine. He is. Look, he's the 10th best middleweight in the world at any given time, and that is not a criticism. People don't. If I was the 10th best podcaster, if I was the 10th best MMA podcaster, that would be cool.
Do you think he's the 10th best disbarred lawyer in Georgia?
Oh, there's a lot of
No.
lawyers, so I don't know about
No,
that.
I used to live in Georgia, brother. There's a lot of them fuckers.
there's a
floating.
lot
Wait,
of
what's
us.
your Georgia hometown?
Well, I live in Atlanta. I'm from Savannah.
You went to high school in Savannah,
I went to
Georgia.
high school in the most southern
So
place
being
of all
a
time.
Valdosta guy like yourself, when you hear he's from Savannah, do you look down on him or do you have respect?
No, he would look up at us because
Oh, wow.
Valdosta's just what
Valdosta's
are you
some
talking
shit.
about?
I mean, the football team's great.
He claims Marietta also as a...
I mean, Marietta is much more.
I went to high
up
school,
here.
freshman, sophomore in Valdosta, junior, senior. In
Oh, so
Marietta.
he's much more... So Marietta's classier.
Oh, Marietta's. Well, it doesn't take much to be classier than Valdosta for me. absolutely.
I can't
You can't argue that point.
You don't hear me jumping in to defend the
Have you
honor
ever been
of
to Big
Valdosta.
Chicken?
Yeah, I have.
Okay.
See, it's a
I
big
mean,
deal.
it's an institution.
Were we talking
It's a
about
big
anything
chicken.
important before?
No, we can just wrap this
Okay.
shit
No,
up.
yeah.
All right.
We were talking about Marvin
Oh,
Vittori,
F
so
that,
no,
F that.
we weren't.
Lightweight banger alert. Edson Barbosa, Jalen Turner. What are we expecting?
Jalen Turner coming off that retirement.
weird.
Edson Barboza been around forever. Super shot
39.
worn.
Dude, who's more cut right now than Edson Barbosa? Like just ripped, old guy ripped.
Shredded.
Is he on the acai? What's going on? You know?
He's on the
If he
acai.
is, I hope he shares it with me.
Okay, he's riding a 2-fight losing skid. We'll watch it at least. Are you guys down on that Iwo Baraneski against Ibo Arslan light heavyweight fight? Like you guys
I
That's the
like
light
it
heavyweight
because the
contest?
name,
Yeah.
it's Iwo versus Ibo.
The
which is
Arslan guy,
funny.
the Turkish donk, he's kind of interesting for a bit, but I mean, we're so far apart from
yeah, but he's lost 2 in a row.
That
though.
he was interesting, and then he lost
right,
a bunch,
flamed
and
out.
so now he's
All
not
right.
good anymore. Yeah.
There's 2 other fights, but unless you want me to bring up Antonio Tricoli losing not only the head coaching position, but the boyfriend status with champion Mackenzie Dern.
I mean, Mansour Abdul Malik is going to slaughter that man, so that'll
All
be
right.
fun to watch. An
Well, Luke,
execution.
do you have anything else to say before we slobber our way to the finish?
No, I mean, I think we covered every single fight except Naimov Santos. I don't have much to say about that.
I
Yeah.
think that's
the
fine.
opener. The
We
opener.
will be back, of course, on Friday to give you the final fight week update, give you our final picks if they've changed. We'll look at what went down in the week that was for fight week UFC 323 in Las Vegas. Also on Friday, we'll be getting you fired up for Saturday's PBC pay-per-view, right? On Prime
Aren't you
Video.
working that?
San Antonio, BC on the call. Are we down for this? Lamont Roach Jr. versus Isak Pitbull Cruz. Let's go. Let's go.
That card in general pretty good.
That's
Yeah,
not
really
Four
bad.
fights on that main
Yeah,
card.
yeah. Laura versus Janabek, middleweight title
Plus, I hear
unification.
there's a great guy working it. Like
Yeah,
a
the-
really
also,
good guy.
Fulton Oshaki. This is a good. Let's go. Let's fucking go. Let's go. Okay. Jed Meshew of MMAfighting.com has been our guest. You keep touching my knee under the
Look,
table.
we're playing footsie.
Jed.
You guys are going to have sex.
I really doubt that. Jed, we're big fans of your work. You know,
I don't know why.
maybe we can check you out this week on a few shows. What should we be looking out for this week if we're big fans of it?
MMAfighting.com. It's a great website. We'll have preview show. We do a watch party between the links.
Yes, yes.
Once used Grandpappy's musket as a bomb. I'd never done that, but that would be incredible.
That would be incredible.
That's frankly a really good idea that I should investigate doing.
Did we use all the lower thirds?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Okay,
Yeah.
good, important. So now you can think of new ones
Yes.
for the next time I come. I don't know, MMAfighting.com. It's a great website.
Great website. We'll see you on the No Bets Barred podcast with Long Island.
That
Luke
is
this
right.
week?
Long Island Luke's joining me this
Wait,
week.
how many podcasts do you have?
Look, a lot
It's
of them.
Jed's. It's Jed's.
That
podcast.
one's mine, but he comes on a lot.
Oh, right. Okay. All right.
All right, LT. Anything the fans should be looking out for before Friday when we reconvene here?
We'll do tape study on my Substack and then live watch along and post fight show on YouTube.
Who
All
are
right,
we tape studying?
Hmm?
Who are we tape studying?
We will tape study. It's a good question. We're probably going to tape study the first Yan and Merab fight, and then we'll do some Josh Van tape study.
I wanted to tell you, fans of the BCX, that we're back this week. We got interviews.
Wow, been a while.
Pantoja, Van, Merab, Payton, Talbot. All right,
Have you already
That's a
talked to
big
him?
slate.
a couple of those I'm talking to tonight. So
Okay.
get fired up this week. Check out the BCX. It's still alive, but maybe I'll be making a comeback. More to come on that. To close here, felt this has been a fun event. Like, is it a top 25 pregame preview all time? Probably not, right? Like just
Very
you know.
forgettable.
Yeah. But from a friendship standpoint, right? Feeling the musk that, once we get that smell out of our face there. Jed, what the fans really want to know is, what is your favorite 90s album of all time? Yeah.
My favorite 90s album of all time?
Yep.
Christ.
Yep.
Uh,
Because, if you said
There were many good ones.
if you said
I-
10, if
so
you
I
said
listen to a
OK
lot of
Computer, I'd
90s.
be with you on this.
no, I'm trying to think like what is
Use Your Illusion one? I mean, where are you
no.
going with this here?
90s is like technically my lifetime.
Yeah.
And I went back to it, but it's like I was
Jed's
much,
sneaky old, too. You'd think he's like a 28-year-old piece of shit.
I'm
You'd be
26. Fuck you.
wrong. Yeah, he'd be
Um,
wrong.
For a guy who's HIV positive, you'd never guess.
You're about to enter the Tom Hanks version of your career, but it's the Philadelphia portion. Yes. Okay.
Not the Polar Express.
Was
No.
Pinkerton in the 90s?
It was.
I'll go Pinkerton.
By
sure.
Weezer. Very, very good album. Very good
It's
album.
a really good album.
Luke, what is your favorite album from the 90s?
The answer is Vulgar Display of Power. I mean, come on.
Wow. By
Come on.
Pantoja. That's fantastic. Wow.
Always play with
I'm going to go with 10 by Pearl Jam. What about you, Long Island Luke?
I'm going versus, but I'm going to give honorable mention to Dookie and.
Dookie actually might be the right
That's
answer.
the Green Day joint?
Yeah, I've probably listened to Dookie more than
Also,
any of
the
them.
and Third Eye
in my
Blind
life.
self-titled.
Also,
DC, come on.
the Black
I love
Album
that
from
album.
Metallica is pretty big.
Okay.
That's a
Also,
big album, yeah.
the Low End Theory by A Tribe Called Quest. Come on.
It's also very
That's
good.
a really good album.
Come on, bitches.
Oh wait, 90s? Fuck. Enter the Wu-Tang was in the 90s. So yeah, that's the answer.
Dude, I was
That's not even
I was
close.
with my wife. We went to restaurants on Friday.
In Madrid.
No, here in DC. And we left one, and they were playing music there, and it was Notorious B.I.G. And we walked by another one, and outside they were playing a different Notorious B.I.G. song. And she literally asked, "Why do people like this?" And I was like,
That's a
But your
shame.
wife also likes death metal, right?
"A different kind of death metal."
But why do people like this is what I say to her.
That's what I would say
Just
to her
not
too.
to her face.
Yeah,
Not
I've been to
really
her
not
concerts.
face.
They're the worst fucking shit I've ever seen in my life.
Wow. What,
Yeah.
row your
No, they don't do that.
Yeah.
she gets the Norwegian fucking just stare at you metal losers.
Luke, would you agree with something I said on Morning Kombat 4.5 years ago, that the Tiffany Amber Thiessen who showed up on 90210 may have been the hottest moment of the 90s?
I mean, we can wrap this up.
Okay.
We can wrap this up.
You're not wrong, but yeah.
Cyber Monday
Luke's
sale
right.
still going on morningcombat.shop. Her name was Valerie Malone in that one. You can get 25% off every t-shirt we've ever sold because there's a few left on the Long Island Luke shelf. And you can also get 50% off our fantastic posters. Get them autographed. Why don't you? Average Joe Art behind a lot of those. Joe Romero also fueling us for our December exclusive. It's He-Man time, fellas, okay? Let's get after it. The most powerful merch in the universe. Get the t-shirt. You can even get 3XL if you're a big boy, right?
Do we have that?
It says right there.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Every shirt is small through 3XL, if anyone. is wondering.
By the way, all proceeds go to Long Island Luke, LT, and me, BC. It's the best way to support the show, Morning Kombat. Shop, you were
I wouldn't have bought it if I knew it was going to you.
He could have got a free, item, and he bought it one to support our show.
Look, I'm before anything. I'm a
More than
fan
my
of
family's
I'm a
ever
fan
done.
of the show.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. More than your, that's a fair point. Sometimes the show's just so good you don't want to end it. You know what I mean? You're just
It seems that you're trying not to.
yeah, it's like very like Luke in middle school, just extending
Just
that.
call this shit
You
off,
know,
bro.
okay. I mean, by the way, Night Eyes with Shannon Tweed was a hell of a series.
I've not seen that bullshit. Call the show.
All
off.
right. For Long Island Luke Nocita of the main card minute, MMA Fighting's Jed Meshew and Luke Thomas from Amtrak bathroom fame. My name has been Brian Campbell, and this is Morning Kombat. Thank you for watching. Thank you to Ken, the best, right?
Never
the
sober.
best.
Never sober.
Ken and Nadir, hope you feel better. We missed Matt Snyder today, but we have a lot of love for him too. Peace. We out of here.